Yo, what's going on, everybody? Today is Wednesday, I think. Is today Wednesday? It is September 3rd. Oh, shout out to Jessica. Happy birthday, Miss Jessica. I'll send you a message right now. Where are you? I see you, girl. Yes, sir. There's my voice going in the background there. What's going on, everybody? We're back for another show. The best show, Jiu-Jitsu show. I can't talk about Mr. Streamy. I can't find. Can somebody send me a link to that? Streamies? Is he on YouTube or is he on Twitch or something? You guys got. I don't know. I'm out the loop. We back a little late than normal. I'm struggling, everybody. I'm struggling. Struggling. Have no energy. Running around left and right, but I'm still streaming. We got a lot of CGI talk, people still kind of working that out of their system, which is great. You don't have an event like that takes so much time and effort and you get over it immediately, on to the next thing. You still want to talk about it, digest it, chew on it some more, think about how it could be better, think about what was great. A lot of things went great. And if you're complaining, I want to see your show. I want to see your show. Put some money up and put your show out there. I want to see it. If you're complaining, if you were complaining, or if you were trolling, or if you were upset, I want to see your show. Let me know. Invite me to your show. Give me some front row tickets, some floor seats to your show. We got some Grippo. Josiah, love him some Grippo. Where's Josiah at? You hear Josiah? Josiah loves some Grippo, so we'll cover some Grippo. A little bit of EBI. I put Grippo on there because I don't think I've ever had Grippo. Has Grippo been on the thumbnail before? I don't know. I can't remember. So we got a little bit of Grippo. We got a lot of stuff, man. I can talk about jiu-jitsu for. I'm gonna talk about jiu-jitsu for 3 hours today. Nothing gonna stop me. Hopefully, let me knock on some wood. Something good. A lot of stuff could stop me from doing that. We got a little bit of Ben Askren too. A little bit of Ben Askren. Ben Askren looking good. We'll cover him too. No, did he? We'll watch what he's doing. That's basically it, man. And today's White Belt Wednesday. Go help out a white belt for your boy Alec. Do it for me. Do it for Ollie. You guys know how to do it, man. White Belt Wednesday. Help them shrimp. Help them roll. And that's basically it. Let's get into some stories, man. Let me I gotta warm up today. We got Mr. Kennedy. Just to let you guys know, I knew Kennedy. Well, I didn't know where Kennedy came from, but I knew of Kennedy since he was a little kid. I'm sure a lot of people did. But it's a pretty funny story he got to share with us. And it'd be like this sometimes. Listen what he's got to say.
Yes, but guess what I did? I broke it. I called the Lord and said, Dad, I can't do this. I can't do it. Girlfriend and 2 black belts, almost impossible. And I broke the contract, and then eventually, and then started continuing. Just to share a little bit to you guys, so you guys can know a little bit of my history, right? How they got started into it. And I think it's good sometimes to know, because some people, they think I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was a little kid, since I was like 5, 6, but no, I started jiu-jitsu when I was 16 years old. Right? I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too early. I think it's the right age that you have that body that you're interested in, you can focus on. Because if you're too young, sometimes you can get burned out. And if you're too late, sometimes the people say, oh, it's too late, it's too late. I don't think it's too late. I think people find excuse. Right? I think every history is different. We can never compare this history with this person's history. So I think it's never too late, as long as we have the open mind and have mentality of the white belt. From white to black, I wasn't able to have a girlfriend. Yes, but guess what I did? I broke it. I called the Lord and said, Dad, I can't do this. I can't do it. Girlfriend and 2 black belts, almost impossible. And I broke the contract, and then eventually, and then started continuing. Just to share a little bit to you guys, so you guys can know a little bit of my history, right? How they got started into it. And I think it's good sometimes to know, because some people, they think I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was a little kid, since I was like 5, 6, but no, I started jiu-jitsu when I was 16 years old. Right? I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too early. I think it's the right age that you have that body that you're interested, you can focus on. Because if you're too young, sometimes you can get burned out. And if you're too late, sometimes the people say, oh, it's too late, it's too late. I don't think it's too late. I think people find excuse. Right? I think every history is different. We can never compare this history with this person's history. So I think it's never too late as long as we have the open mind and have mentality of the white belt. From
What's up, Josiah? Here you're training. Awesome, bro. Awesome. We're gonna get into it. So I don't even know who's competing. I know you've talked about it a couple times, but we'll look into it and see who's competing. You're training lucha libre. Awesome. Okay, that's good. Watch Gianni's post of him and Lachlan Giles. Okay, I'll go maybe check it out at some point. I have to cover everybody fairly, Josiah. Though that's my thing. I'm not just gonna cover Grippo. I'm gonna cover Max Hansen. I'm gonna cover some of those other people. Maybe not Bryson or Bryce, whatever that kid's name. I'm not gonna cover him. He ain't supposed to be out there. But yeah, pretty shout out to Kennedy. You know he ain't got the easiest father out there. You know you can't impress Cobrinha until you win world championship. So we'll see. You know, I could definitely see Cobrinha saying no girlfriend and no carbs, no sweets. You guys think you got it hard. You think you got it hard out here. He was humbled. Yeah. He's supposed to be humbled. I would be worried if you weren't humbled. So I'm glad you're training. You know, people online, people on Reddit, they be the first people to talk. And then I say, hey, put them people out there in the tournament. Let them go in not EBI. Yeah, put them in EBI, put them in CJI. You know, let them go out there and fight these people they're talking about, and then they gonna lose in 2 seconds. They gonna look like Chael Sonnen out there. That's what regular people gonna do. Yeah, Keith is 10 Planet. Even Josiah has to admit that Krikorian got more experience, and he's got to win over Gianni Grippo. Not to say he's better. Yeah, I mean everybody gets caught, right? Doesn't mean they're better than you, but they, in that situation, in that moment, on that day, they got you. Gianni doesn't have much EBI experience, so it's gonna be tough to win with his style. With his style is away from 20 years, yeah. It's good to be back. Yeah, you supposed to be. You ain't got no cardio for that. You supposed to be getting killed. Yeah, and it's crazy how you might have you've been watching Grippo and all these people, but your body, the body's got to catch up to you, to your mind. I learned how to do the bow and arrow and berimbolos, and I was shocked at the Lucha Libre Academy. Okay. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. And that's kind of standard stuff nowadays. Berimbolo, you got to throw in crab ride and leg locks. And, yeah. All right. So good work on you, Josiah. Keep it up, brother. Cardio's crashed. My body has to. Yeah, that's the issue. The cardio is always a battle. That's why, we see Dorian Oliveras. That's why he's so amazing. Like his cardio stays up. You got to work on it though. But I guess my suggestion is, make some time to do some cardio outside of training. We had a nice little story here. You guys don't know who Firefly is, but I think she's just got into college. She's wrestling. And let me just read the story. Patrick says, I wish running my mouth counted as cardio. Well, then all the Reddit people would be the best people in the sport. Next to Gordon Ryan. Let me read this first. And it says, Firefly, she's a really good wrestler. She says, after struggling to get to practice, not making tournaments due to distance, Ubers, lifts, back and forth from college, I was blessed with a Mitsubishi Outlander 2025. I didn't know they're still making those. Mitsubishi, that is. So she was blessed with the Mitsubishi. And she says, from the one and only Shaquille O'Neal, a.k.a. Shaq, with the help of the amazing crew at the car company, the dealership. Thank God, thank you, family, and most importantly, thank you for believing in me. I couldn't do anything without the love, support you all drown me in. I will not let you down if you continue to trust me. God is good. We made it, everyone, and it's only the beginning. So she just got into college, needed help getting to practice and to whatever, wrestling meets and tournaments. So shout out to Mr. Shaq. Daddy Shaq gave her a new ride. Now, Shaq, she too young for you, Shaq. She way too young. So she got a new car she can go to practice in. All right, who's that? Who's that? She look like Nia. Is that her mom? No way. Is that your mama? Hey, okay, let me get out of there. I be zooming in. So that's amazing. Let's see. She's a good wrestler too.
Something more important. Did you see what I did with the little girl?
That was amazing, yeah.
For those who didn't see it, here it is. The most beautiful 6-year-old in the world. I was scrolling one day, and I saw this.
6 months of my daughter's jiu-jitsu career, she lost every single tournament she went in.
I immediately said, I love this little kid. Uncle Shaq time. I'm going to have my guy make up some mock-ups. I found another girl wrestler, Firefly.
They gon' be surprised when they see I made this beat, baby Chief and Kanye West. As long as the hoe outside with the zoo shit never see home. 26-12 be the squad, we all beat the odds. How that shit unknown, none of the odds.
So I called her parents and said, you need sponsorship? We'd like to get our baby a car. I'm gonna need you to find her a car. I need you to pick it up for me, I need you to drop it off.
Take it right to her? That's easy.
I appreciate it.
Let's do it.
And I'm gonna pay for the whole thing.
Pay for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, how about this?
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, I seen that. I'll go half.
Oh, you go half?
I'll go half and I'll deliver it to her still.
All right, deal.
How about that?
I appreciate that.
Done.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
I'm sitting here with my car guy. You tell us what you're looking for. I'll have them go pick it up and drop it off to y'all as a present.
Oh, wow, man.
Rap Force.
Hello.
Hello, Firefly.
Hi.
How are you? Got you on the phone with my guy.
How you doing?
So,
I'm good.
so you need a car, right?
I do need a car.
All right, so what kind you want? Because we're going to take care of it, me and him. He's going to be talking to her, and, he with me, so it's going to be all good.
Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication.
Them songs gonna get me. God, dog, why they got all these songs on here?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of yours. You keep body slamming people, you keep listening to your mom and you keep your grades up. All right?
Pay you back and dead bodies on the mat, like they said.
Exactly. All right, I love you. And no boys. Stay away from the boys.
My question, did she really pick out that Mitsubishi or did they just give it to her? Who picks out a Mitsubishi? I didn't know they were still around. Nah, homegirl should have got a Toyota, Honda. Shaq, what's the budget? Porsche? Mitsubishi? Do we have a Mitsubishi dealership over here in Georgia? I ain't seen one. I seen everything but Mitsubishi. All right, at least you didn't ask for no Nissan. I'm sorry if you got a Nissan out there, people. Unless it's a Nissan truck, okay, that might be all right. Firefly, she good. She be slamming them girls. I don't know if we can watch a highlight real fast. She good. I mean, respectfully, we can't be out here. You guys be creeping out here. What school does she go to? Oh, I don't know what school she went to. Let's see. Let's watch one.
That's all I know. If you ain't blowing hops, keep that shit, bro. The more I smoke. If you ain't spinning blues, keep your bread, bro. That's all I want. 4 5s and things and that.
Can't play music, but she good. Shout out to Uncle Shaq for donating a ride for her to get to practice. When you see the athletes got the will and drive, that makes you want to help them. Now, say she wasn't out here doing her thing, she wasn't out here wrestling and even just posting to social media and doing these tournaments, she wouldn't get that. It's one of the fastest growing sports here in America. It's female wrestling getting pop. Yeah, a lot of, just look at the American. A good example is that in 2024, last year Olympics, the girls came through. They had about 2 or 3 gold medals, and silver, and bronze. The girls did better than the men's wrestling team. And the men got more NIL money. They got more resources. They got more. They got more everything. So the girls, especially in high school and scholastic wrestling, the girls are really growing. They're looking for girls. They're looking for girls with no experience to go to college on scholarship. So shout out to her. I support the wrestling. Who else is out here doing jiu-jitsu and supporting wrestling like me? Dope, good to know for my daughter's future. Yeah, all my friends with daughters, they try to get their girls into wrestling, get that scholarship. And I believe they do get NIL too, so we'll see. We got Mr. Ben Askren, he's jogging now, so that's pretty amazing. The new lungs are warmed up. So we'll watch a little bit. Can't play that music. The Shaq video already got me though. Look at him, bro. Yo, Jason Whitfield. Jason Whitfield. He says Mitsubishi has some of the worst transmissions, but you're right. A Nissan is worse. Hopefully she'll get 50,000 miles. Dang. She will get a lot of work having that car. She'll be pushing it everywhere. That's what I'm asking. Did they give her the did they give her the Mitsubishi? Because I would have been like, get her the Toyota. Get her that Toyota. She would have been good in that Toyota for 200, 300,000 miles, maybe more. Now that Mitsubishi ain't gonna make it past a couple years. I don't know where she is in America. If she in PA or somewhere, that 50,000 miles is gonna go fast. She gonna need to be driving. So that 50K might go quick. So I wish they had given her a better, more reliable car, Honda, Toyota, something. Anything would have been better. Mitsubishi? Where's she gonna get that thing serviced? I don't know, man. We'll see. That car about to break down. Shaq, can you fix the car? Again, we got Ben Askren over there. I can't play that music though. Wait, let me play this last part here. Yeah, I can't play that music. But it's good to see Ben Askren up and running, man. He got better cardio than some of you guys on here. He got better cardio. And he got the best excuse to not have good cardio. But he's like, I'm gonna move them, I'm gonna make them lungs. Them lungs they never worked like that before. Them lungs, them some regular lungs. Them ain't no wrestling lungs from 20, 30 years of wrestling experience. Them lungs dying too. Wherever she is, I hope there are not a lot of hills. Alrighty. Jason Whitfield know about everything. Cars, Gordon Ryan, running schools. My man got some knowledge over here. Absolute warrior. He is facing an uphill battle for the rest of his life. I really wish him all the best. Imagine that. After everything he's done at the college and international level, plus an MMA career, his toughest matchup was still to come, and it's going to be hopefully a 40-year round. I'm hoping. Ben Askren's here for a long time. Those lung transplants apparently. But usually the people that get lung transplants are older anyway. They've been smoking for decades. Never ran. He's going to double leg that nurse any day now. What's your excuse? Yeah, what's your guys' excuse? I gotta do some cardio too. Huge props to Ben Askren, an absolute legend for bouncing back from such rough surgery and sickness. It's a tough road, but he's not giving up. Probably the worst patient ever for these people, and yet they probably spend 90% of their day trying to get their patients to move. The lung transplants people. He will have to be restrained by them because he is a wrestler at heart. He thinks 13 sets of 13 miscounted up and downs with a long speech about victory and discipline in the middle while sprinting in place is the way to get better. I'm 50, and a few executives I know look for wrestlers, even if they do not have the CV they probably have the grind and fortitude to do it. Wrestlers are tough, usually, except for Gable Stevenson. He ain't tough. He's soft. He's soft, Gable Stevenson. And I'm going to say that because I know Gable will never have a match against me or any jiu-jitsu person. He's soft, bro. Yeah, so it looks like he's doing well, man. We're not gonna spend too much time on Ben Askren today. We're gonna talk about CJI. Everybody's still digesting it. Everybody's still thinking about it. Says CJI 2 best and worst performers. I'm still got a cough, man. Says with the main controversy seemingly passed, thought I would rank the best and worst performances from the event based on general expectations going in and matchups actually drawn relative for each athlete. Says the best were Dorian Oliveras. Yeah, he had a good run. Nah, he didn't get no submission, so theoretically, he didn't have the best run. Now, from entertainment perspective, he did well. Says easily the star of the event. The only criticism would be he didn't seem to make any real submission attempts on a Gas, Pierman, or Ethan at all. 2, got DeAndre Corby, hung with and arguably even beat the best guy in the world in the weight class above him. Corby is a big boy. What do you mean he beat the best guy? He means Mika Gabal? He beat the best guy? Who did Corby beat? Oh, he's saying John Carlo? Nah, I don't know if he beat him. Taylor, I can't put Corby in there. I'm sorry. He's ecological. I'm taking him out of there. Taylor Pierman, he did good. Brazilian tap aside, he got into a lot of good positions and had seemingly a dead to rights outside heel hook against arguably the best guy in the tournament. Wagner Hosha, maybe this is controversial, but he drew 2 of the best and biggest guys in the tournament, both fresh and survive elimination both. John Carlo Bodoni, controversy aside, the sub against Ronaldo Jr. was huge. He was always going to submit Ronaldo Jr. That was Ronaldo Jr.'s second no-gi match. Actually, someone said he won no-gi worlds, but I ain't see it. Can we watch that match and see who he fought? So he beat Ronaldo Jr. Yeah, I think John Carlo had the best. You got to go by submissions, bro. You got to take everybody out of there. You got to take Dorian Oliveras out. You got to take DeAndre Corby out. Pierman, keep Pierman. Wagner, take him out. And John Carlo, add Luke, and Felipe Pena. You got to have it's a submission tournament. You can't have nobody that didn't do no submissions in the top of the submission tournament. When the win against Joseph, was that the final? I don't even remember. Does anybody remember the match first? Joseph versus John Carlo? I don't remember. What happened? Was considered Victor Hugo, Nicky Rod, and Kenta here as well. Yeah, I feel like if you're including best performances, they had to get submissions. So most guys couldn't be on there. Says worse were Kine and Duarte. I can't deny that. That was not the best showing. Wasn't a good showing one bit. Defending ADCC absolute champ couldn't get a sub on -66 and -77 guys. Paul Ardilla. Paul Ardilla, they coming for you, bro. Of all the stalling on day one, he was the worst. Pato is obviously world class, but he refused to even engage a guy he outweighed by 40 pounds. Hulk by Bosa. Hulk did okay. I mean, he did what he normally does. For a guy who is one of the most decorated athletes in the field, he barely did anything against a relative nobody. Who did he fight? It was clearly stalling against Mika. Oh, he fought who did Barbosa fight? I can't remember now. There's too many matchups. Jason Whitfield knows. Chris Wojcik, similar to Mika in that he got tough draws style wise, but I don't remember him ever getting a decent entry on a leg lock as a guy who is one of the best leg lockers in the world and seemingly should have been dangerous in this format. Chris never. I mean, he did PGF and some trials and stuff. I don't think he just wasn't. Give him some. He gonna need more time to get used to that level of competition. Everybody's good at that level, and so to stand out is tough. He said worse was Luke Griffith. I can't say that about Luke. He had good matches. I blame Danaher for putting Luke in last. They should not have put Luke in last. He's still kind of green a little bit. He did ADCC, but he's still kind of, listen, he only been high level for about 2 or 3 years. This one was tough but fair. I think if he is to be considered one of the best in the world, he finished a 66 guy and one of the best at that, but didn't finish a bad plus 99 guy, got subbed by Penna and destroyed by Nicky Rod. I mean, people on Reddit can't beat none of those guys. Whitfield says the only reason Dorian didn't get subs is because Nicky Ryan kept telling Ethan to lay flat. He wasn't going to get a sub regardless. He wasn't going to get it. I mean, they were playing smart, but he wasn't going to get a sub regardless of what he did. Keep his elbows. Yeah. The thing is, if you can't allow a wrestler to ride you. You ever seen a wrestler ride somebody? Of course, especially a wrestler with better cardio. It was just a strategic thing. He wasn't going to get a sub regardless, Jason Whitfield. There was no submission threat. Even if he took the back, bro, what was he going to do? And arguably, Ethan won that match based off submission attempts, right? I don't consider the muffler a submission attempt. Ethan could have actually ended that match with that leg twist. Ben Eddie has competed at EBI and lost, and even lost. All right, bro. Dorian Oliveras destroyed a giant of a man. This kid is going places. He even beat Grippo. He's beat everybody his weight class, except for that Russian guy. Ethan isn't winning. I need you to have some faith in Ethan. LOL Snap, what's up? Yeah, I don't agree with any of this stuff here. Well, I mean, you can have your stars and stuff, but I'm saying if your star didn't have no submissions on there, they can't be in the top running, even though they were exciting. You could be exciting and not do well. Let's see, did anybody was exciting and didn't do well? I don't know. Someone says stars for me: Kenta, Pyramid, Dorian, Giancarlo, Victor, Corby Bros. I don't know if Victor deserves to be on there though. Corby Bros, take the Corby Bros out of there. Get them out. They did okay. Well, I mean, Gavin only had one match, I think. Did he have 2 matches or one? Oh, they only made it past. They only had one fight. DeAndre did okay. I blame Chris Josh Saunders. What's his name? What's the guy's name? I forgot his name already. He just messed his whole team up. My man didn't put no effort into his team. But I mean, he shouldn't have been the coach. Does anybody else agree with me? Ethan ain't winning EBI. Gianni ain't winning either, bro. Gianni not gonna win that either. I'm sorry. Gianni, go do your best, Gianni. DeAndre and Gavin did okay. Gavin got set up, and DeAndre did okay. I hope CJI hang in there. I was thinking about it last night. I think they need to go on a wrestling scoring system to make fights more exciting for casual people. At a certain point, the more casual you make it, the more you're going to take from the sport. Greg Saunders. I would say Josh Saunders. Isn't that a different guy? Greg Saunders. Yeah. Yeah. Just like how you know all this stuff, but you can't do a Berimbolo. You know, you need to you got it. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm coming after you today. Yeah, you got to make sure you learn some jiu-jitsu too. Get in there, do your bow and arrow, do your berimbolo. How you know all these names? We need you to know the moves, though, Josiah. Go train the moves. Jason says, you're right about not going to turtle against Dorian. I saw Dorian do turtle rounds with Gordon. No joke, he was giving Gordon. Yeah, keep your back on the floor. Now he might not submit you if he takes your back, but you're gonna be cross facing you, spiral riding you, oil checking you. You're gonna wish you put your back on the floor. I'm gonna be honest. Most people didn't do well. I wasn't really happy with too many people's performances. Pierman did good. Giancarlo didn't do good the first day. Victor Hugo just beat people that were way smaller or injured. The Corby Bros did okay. Gavin didn't get a chance to do much. DeAndre only had one match, right? Did he have two matches? I thought did he have more than one match? He fought Mika, right? Did he fight anybody else? I can't even remember now. There's so many matches I can't even keep up. If they're doing a team-based system, it would encourage people to submit people. Let's say a submission is worth 3 points, win by decision worth 1 point, and a draw and worth 0 as far as that's true. That is true. I'm not gonna get too much in the scoring. My brain not gonna get behind it. DeAndre had one fight. Gavin had one. Okay. My man Josiah knows all this stuff. I want you to know the berimbolo. You know how to get out of the closed guard, Josiah. Make sure you. I want you to study that jiu-jitsu too, though, Josiah. You know all this stuff. I need you to know that jiu-jitsu stuff. Wagner did his job, but it was really boring to watch. I can't co-sign. He's the oldest dude out there. All of Team America had only one match. Okay. Oh yeah, they didn't have no subs. I blame Greg Souders. He messed up team. He messed that up. He should have put Kevon out there. He should have put Kevon. I want to see Kevon out there. I want to see Kevon versus Giancarlo. The girls, they didn't even include the girls in the match. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I think I had expectations for everybody to go out there and do their best. $200,000 on the line and then $50K on the line. I wanted more from everybody, really. Wagner lost a tooth. Yeah, he deserved $50K for that. Give my man $50K. Somebody donate him $50K. Actually, he got $200K. He's good. He'll fix that up. Get some new veneers. They needed Roberto on any team. At least he's going to go kamikaze. Either that or he would have gotten submitted in the heel hooker armbar. But he would have been exciting. They could have put anybody on Team Americas. They could have had LOL Snap. They could have had Roberto. Gianni. Yeah. You were shocked Pato tapped out to a guy way bigger than him? I mean, that happens. Wait till you roll with some big, strong guy. We'll see how long you last, Josiah. You're going to be like, oh, that's what he felt like. Okay, that's why Pato tapped out. Yeah, I wanted better performances. The girls did good, though. I wanted better performances from the guys all around. Even Nicky Rod, yeah, I wanted better. He did okay, but I wanted better performances from him, from Felipe Pena, from Joseph Chin, I know some people were hurt and stuff, from Giancarlo, I wanted better performances from everybody, Even Paul Ardilla, I wanted to see a better performance from him. Gio Martinez and Giancarlo tapped. Yeah. Well, he had the chance to redeem himself because his team was still around for the next day. Gio, I don't really like how they handled that. Tax write-offs for Shaq, yep. Get Wagner a tooth and a Mitsubishi. It's good. Wagner got $200,000. Now, that money won't go very far in Miami. Did you guys realize that $200,000 won't go far? He's going to spend that money quickly in Miami. I see my late aunt Patricia roll with bigger people, and she submitted them with ease. It depends. Sometimes if you're going against less skilled, bigger people, that can happen. But a lot of times, the guys, nobody gonna go hard on the old lady, bro. Who going hard on the old lady? Even the big guys, they'll give up their back and tap out. Yeah, they're going easy on her. I'm sorry. She was what, 70 or 80? Yeah, who going hard on her? Nah, they know better. What did you think about Andre making Helena put her hair back before fighting Sarah? Yeah, I mean, she had to put her hair back. That was cheating. If you got hair and they're dangling that hair in your eyeballs and you doing this, like Adele was fighting the hair and fighting Helena. That was only right. She had a ponytail in that match, though. I don't think, did it come out? Studio 76 should have been represented for sure. Yeah, definitely Roberto. I could have made a better team than Greg Sodders. I would have put people in the right weight class. I would have taken Gavin out of there. I would have found somebody. Pat Downey would have been gone. The British dude would have been gone. Dorsey would have been at 77. Corby would have been at DeAndre Corby would have been at 66. I would have found people at 88, 99, 99 plus. I would have changed the whole lineup. I would have changed the coach. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. My aunt was in her 30s when she started jiu-jitsu in the 1970s, and my late aunt Patricia died doing jiu-jitsu in 2021. Oh. My man got some history. Mika should be listed as one of the worst performers, or at least underperformers. Going in, people were expecting a lot of him, and he didn't deliver. He was billed as New Wave's flash submission guy, and I don't think he submitted anyone. He really didn't do too much. But, everybody's got injured. My foot hurt. My ankle. Everybody has something going on. I don't know. Someone says, wish we could have seen the Corby brothers get more matches. They always have an exciting style. We'll blame their coach. We'll see if Dorian comes back. His leg got popped. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with all this. If anything, the athletes let people down. It wasn't the show. Lachlan is a great coach. I might fly to Australia and ask him to help me with leg locks. And go take that 14-hour flight, bro. I'm not sure how long it is, but go there. Go to Australia and let me know what's out there. Mika, don't bring your girl. That was your weakness. You're usually a killer out there. Well, he's been bringing her. I don't know. That he knows more than me, right? He can do whatever he wants. LL Snap says, Josiah, if you ever find your way to Houston, you can roll with me. LL Snap, you're gonna break him. He's gonna put you in the Cuban hold, the Cuban toe hold, the Cuban lock. He just started, man. Don't break him too much. Oh, I just saw a new figure. Let me pull this up in a second. So it says Slow Grappling from 30th of August to the 31st of August. They had 2.8 plus million views, so that's a lot. Pretty good for Flow Grappling. They even say that's their largest audience in history, so that's pretty good. And 167,000 concurrent views on the live stream. So that was, having 167,000 people right there watching live, pretty amazing. And 3 million plus minutes, that's pretty good too. So I'm not sure if they made money on that live stream. I was thinking about this earlier. Maybe they had to take the live stream down because of the music, and maybe they might put it back up. Once they edit some stuff, cut it together. I think they would do. I would like to see them put it back up and do some rough cuts on the video. Take some of the music out, maybe some of the controversial stuff out, and then re-upload it. So that's really great. That they got pretty lucky. Craig Jones set up everything. He set up everything, and they kind of came in and kind of, get to have that forever, basically. LOL snapped. He the way he trained, he came up in Cuba, he can't go light. They don't have flow rolls in Cuba. He said, I can't roll with you. White belts are dangerous. LOL snap, we know you're dangerous too. I haven't trained in judo or boxing since 2004. All right, Josiah, that's good. Where's your man Marley at, man? Where he at? With over 2.8 million views, CJI2 is one of the most watched events in flow grappling history. Thank you to all the athletes and fans who made it possible. Tell Gordon to turn his comments on. He won't do it. They're like, and then you pulled it from YouTube right after. Why not let it be there at least a couple days? It's rewatchable on Flow with no subscription. Oh, okay. So you don't need a subscription. You can just go to Flow Grappling. Can we check that out real fast? Let's see. Okay, they got all the matches up. I miss martial arts, the struggle, the journey, and the lessons. Yeah. Where's the replays at? They split it up for everybody. I don't know if you can see the single matchups, like the whole video. Oh, they do. Okay, you can watch it on Flow. You got to watch the ads though. You guys got to watch the ads. They got to get their money. So that's pretty amazing. I just want to see if it pops up real quick, then we'll move on. And they got the ads. They said you for sure gonna watch these ads. LL Snap says, man, my class, every time it never fails, someone starts pushing the pace. Next thing you know, it's def kind of 5 rolls. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see old school, Gianni. Okay, they do have it.
What a finishing sequence. We've got a couple of...
Okay. If you guys want to watch CJI, it's on Flow Grappling. Go check them out. Go support them. I'm not streaming that illegally. You guys go check out the website, flowgrappling.com. That's awesome. I'm glad they did that. Okay. Now, you got to go watch their ads on their website, which is, that's just what you got to do. But at least it's free, and it's in spirit of what Craig Jones set out to do with keeping it on YouTube and open for everybody. I was humbled today when I rolled. I tapped out. I learned the berimbolos and the bow and arrow. That is a lot for your first day. So I'm not sure what kind of class that was, but that is a lot for your first day. This guy says, my perspective on CJI2 as a white belt YouTuber. We got a lot of white belt YouTubers out here nowadays. They about like Josiah can't do they barely can do the berimbolo, but you guys keep trying. It says he's a white belt YouTuber and he has been filming a documentary on Craig Jones. He says, I wrestled for 17 seasons from grade 3 up through college, and I absolutely love grappling. I had 4 knee surgeries. You probably should not be grappling anymore. I'm not going to read all this. Can I read all that? Okay, let me read it. Jesus Christ. Can you guys even see that? Let's talk about Helena, the best woman grappler in the world. She's good, but she's not the best grappler in the world for the ladies. That's got to go to Gabrielle Pesinha. Now, if Gabrielle was out there, she would have tooled up both Sarah Gabal and Helena. They both would have been tooled up. Gabrielle, she you remember the girl we showed that won Jiu-Jitsu Con? She might be able to take you out, LL Snap. She might beat you up. Gianni competed at Emerald. I know he competed. This man is on the 10th Planet program. Who is? Me? Or are you talking about Josiah? Let me read this real fast. Or this kid. Let me read him. The fully wrecked body in the process. That sounds like wrestling, huh? Fully wrecked body. All grapplers know there is no money in the sport of BJJ or wrestling. That's not true in American wrestling. That reminds me, I completely missed all the RAF stuff. We'll cover some of that too. All grapplers know there's no money in the sport of BJJ or wrestling. They are martial arts you do because you're passionate about them. I had the privilege of hanging out with Craig for multiple days before, during, and after CGI as I was filming the documentary about him. I saw firsthand Craig Jones, Seth, and their whole team putting in 12-hour days, absolutely blasting themselves to promote this event and bring eyes to the sport. I was thoroughly impressed with their dedication to the marketing and business side of things. And on top of that, for Craig to find an investor, that offers incredible amounts of money to the best grapplers in the sport is unheard of. Nobody else has done that. You could say ADCC's, 20 years of giving $10,000 and more. They've been doing something similar. Let's set it up, bro. No one else has done that. It totally changes the landscape of tournament payouts and is groundbreaking for those that aim to make a living off BJJ. Freestyle, folk style, and Greco does not have any tournament that offer anywhere near the kind of money or promotion that CGI does. Raph does. He doesn't know that. He's a white belt. I wish so badly there was a character in the wrestling community that would sacrifice so much of their life to put on an event like CGI, but there simply is not. Nothing like it exists anywhere in the wrestling world. Raph does. Real American Freestyle exists. And I understand day one was a bit slow for the average Joe, but Craig Jones literally heckled the investor into putting up a $50K bounty for every grappler that pulled off a submission during day two, and you boys saw the difference that made in entertainment. It was sick to see, and I know I know there was a bizarre mix-up in the finals about who won via technicality per the rule book, but I can assure you nothing about the event was rigged. I'd call it out if it was rigged, but it simply was not. The judges made their call, and the chaos ensued for everyone behind the scenes. It was a confusing situation at the end, but boys, the event as a whole was quite entertaining and put a lot of money in the pockets of athletes you all love. So when I log on to Reddit, Instagram, and see all these BJJ fans dragging Craig and CJI as a whole, calling it rigged or a bad event, it really bums me out, man. It makes me feel like you boys, don't know how good you have it. Craig Jones doesn't need to be sacrificing his mental health, money, and life to try and grow the sport of BJJ. He's fine to sell off into the nosebeer sunset as it is. The way things are going right now, we may not see CGI 3. I blame everybody for that. And that truly bums me out. So please, all you BJJ people, please appreciate what you have before it's gone. Craig Jones is an absolute gem in the BJJ world, and I'm jealous that wrestling doesn't have its own Craig Jones to put on hype events and get wrestlers paid the money they deserve. You guys are going to criticize Craig into actually enjoying his life, and all you'll be left with is Gordon Ryan, who couldn't entertain a mentally I don't know what to say for that. A golden retriever. Appreciate what you have before it's gone, boys. I truly think you are taking it for granted. I didn't get paid to post this. Craig Jones lost to Joe Lopez 1-0 in the tunnels under Vegas. and the sad guy got hit with a stall call in the process. Joe Lopez, who's that? I'm not here to glaze the man. I'm here to call it as I see it as a journalist. People think that Aoki lock Helena put on Sarah was bad. Wait till Gabby gets a hold on her leg with all the techniques and weight. And Gabby just started doing nogi. You know, Gabrielle, she real. She from the favelas. You know, Sarah, she from San Diego. Sarah, I'm not saying she's soft, but she ain't really Brazilian. She ain't from the favelas. She ain't, you know, she had it nice. You know, Sarah had a very nice upbringing. Now, bring in Gabrielle, she she'll pull out Helena's hair. She'll, you know, the hair in the face, she'll rip that hair out of there. So it's worth it to see Keith Krikorian train at 10 Planet, and the EBI fights they do are awesome. I want to face challenges. This guy's crazy. Fargo's bigger than Craig Jones. Yeah, Fargo's big. Bro, I guess he doesn't understand about NCAA wrestling either. Yeah. Says people need to realize that social media and the internet represents the loudest people. Many of them are also the dumbest people, which is why they have to be loud to get attention. That's why I talk so softly. I talk with that smooth softness. I don't got to talk loud and stuff. CGI 1 and 2 have done more for a niche sport than I have ever thought I'd see. Every complaint about it misses the forest for the trees. It was not going to be perfect. It was going to advance the sport, and it was a massive success. Even if they don't do CGI 3, people will be talking about CGI forever. You won't be able to talk about advancing BJJ without bringing up CGI. UFC is trying something, but compared to CGI, they have half the heart, no balls, and no soul. I cannot think anyone could possibly prefer UFC-style events to what CGI has done since it started last year. And the thing is, for UFC events, the UFC BJJ, you can't even get to the show. It's in the Performance Institute. Regular people can't even go in there. You can't spectate or anything. I need some high chews to get me through this. Last thing we need is another Foxcatcher and wrestling. I met that guy before when he was we got rid of our Foxcatcher. Mr. Moneyberg, but you guys, you know, that's before social media, so you guys didn't know. So we're trying to keep the Foxcatchers out of here. You gotta say no to Foxcatcher. You gotta say no to Diddy. You gotta say no to Moneyberg. Says you don't get many people willing to blow up their life to elevate an entire sport. The fact that grapplers can make real money now is huge. Even with the real money, the guys still weren't really fighting half the time. It says, and people are still finding stuff to complain about. That's true. People like to complain. Anybody that wants to complain, I say make your own thing, make your own event, make your own show, put up your own money. Yeah, put up your own money, make your own show. Yeah, stop complaining. Do something. At least I'm live streaming. I could do other stuff too, though. I'm gonna smack a little bit, guys. Sorry if you're listening. LOL Snap, you would have been that Foxcatcher too, bro. The Foxcatcher would have had you, man. I don't know, man. I do love this sport, but I also see the dark side of it all the time. And it can make you jaded. Yeah, it can make you jaded because a lot of people in this sport just take and take and take. They take your time, take your energy. And complain constantly. Yeah, I just complain. I've had it, especially when you're teaching, people be complaining more than anything. They complain more than they train. And I don't know, it just makes me sad. Danny Chopper, what up, man? You know I'm smacking over here. Danny Chopper says, saw the title, knew the homie Josiah is hype. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought about when I put Gianni Grippo. Danny Chopper knew exactly what was going to happen. I need to tell people about Josiah before they get into the stream because they don't get it. What is Josiah going to do if we get Grippo in here one day? What is he? Josiah, you got to control yourself if Grippo ever come in the live stream. Something was weird about that guy. I couldn't put my finger on it. He had like a stare almost like that small fragile man. But I knew something was awful about him. Yeah. The thing is, I can see that. I see stuff like that. I'd be trying to warn people. And people, especially in this sport, they'd be like, man, but he's so cool. He's so amazing. He gives me so much money. I'd be trying to warn people about people like that in real life. Nobody listen. So, yeah, that's why I don't try too hard nowadays. You guys want to get caught by the Foxcatcher or Moneyberg or whoever else, go ahead, man. I'm just going to make the video on you later. If Johnny was on, I would collapse and scream like a girl. All right, we might need to get Gianni Grippo on here. Gianni, can you go on my live stream? I don't know. He said I've been talking too much stuff about Kevon. He said maybe he can't do it. Kevon will get upset. So we got EBI coming up. I'm going to cover a little bit because I did tell Josiah I would talk about it, but I'm not going to cover too in depth. I got other stuff to do. I got my own training to do. I can't be worrying about these other people. I got to worry about myself. I've got some usual suspects. You got Ben Eddy. Is that Ben Eddy? Ethan Krinelstein, Kokorian, Hansen, Bryce Mitchell, and of course Grippo. Some other people too. I don't know everybody. Yeah, I don't know everybody. So we'll see. That's going to be September 12th. I believe that's next week. It's going to be San Antonio. LL Snap, you going out there, bro? Go get a picture with Grippo for me, man. So we can send it to Josiah. I believe that is next week. It is next Friday. That is correct. I will, bro. So I'm gonna go. Let me do the show, and I'm gonna try to get to him. I already got my tabs laid out. Hopefully I can. I have played that clip before. Didn't you see me play that clip? Okay, if I have time, I will try to get back to it. Again, I can't give Grippo too much time. I got stuff to do, other people to cover, some matches to watch, I think, possibly. I know you love Grippo. I'm not saying I don't like Grippo. I don't love Grippo. I like him. We not stalking him on this channel just because you want to stalk him. You stalk him on your channel. San Antonio is the toilet bowl of Texas. All right. LOL Snap said that, people. I did not say that. I don't know too much about Texas. I've been to Texas a couple times. Who's going to reverse that lock Gianni did? No one. Let's see. It says no points, no draws, judges, no BS. Just pure sub-only jiu-jitsu with overtime. As our Lord and Savior, Edgy Bravo, wanted it. I still remember the first few EBIs were pretty funly because they were miles ahead of most other jiu-jitsu tournaments with lots of submission bounties that forced the action, and you got to see two people fight their way to the top. Craig Jones versus Nicky Ryan's lesser famous big brother. Freakazoid versus Wolverine are some of the most exciting finals ever where styles clash and magic happens. So let's forget CJI for a brief moment and celebrate that we're lucky enough to get a potential Ethan Krinelstein versus the Thug Nasty in the finals. Who do you want to see in the finals? So we know Josiah's in the comments somewhere. All the respectable grapplers are out of Houston and Austin, Texas. What about Dallas, bro? Actually, I think you are right. It's Houston and Austin. Seems to be. But that's just because that's where all the Brazilians went. All the Brazilians went to Austin and Houston. Says Eddie only invited Bryce Mitchell so he'd have someone to talk to. Thank God they're going back to the old rule set. Any combat jiu-jitsu tournaments became nothing less than novelty. Great that they're doing the original rules and so many good guys are in the bracket. I hope it isn't ruined by too much stalling. To OT. Where's Gianni Stalker? Oh. Is that you? Josiah, we found you. Where is Gianni? Are you stalking him on, you're stalking him on Reddit too, bro? Come on, Josiah. That might be too much stalking. A little stalking's okay. Dallas is the redheaded stepchild that no one cares about. The Brazilians are not even the factor down here. Honestly, in Houston, the Cubans are running everything. I mean, you still doing like, hey, what's up, Mushmaster? You still doing jiu-jitsu. So you Brazilians were somewhere involved. Even the Ecuadorians. The Ecuadorians were trained by Brazilians. Saluso. I guess Raul Jimenez, I don't know where he trained with. He might have trained himself. But those guys used to train under Alliance, right? So they did have some Brazilian influence through that. But he said the Cubans taking over. Where are my Cubans at? All I know is you, Frank Chamizo, and Romero. Yo, Romero. Where are the other Cubans at? When they taking over the sport? Where are the Cubans at? Now they might take over wrestling. They can have wrestling. I'm waiting for them to take over jiu-jitsu, though. Mushmaster hates EBI rules. I am not the biggest fan of overtime rules. Submission only, it's cool. I just don't like overtime rules. You can game the system too much with the EBI rules. Josiah says, I can't be on Reddit. I was banned. So I guess they were talking about you. They said, where is Gianni Stalker? He's banned. Do you guys think Gianni will win? Who can beat Gianni? Gianni is the best in the world. They'll be here after their morning scrub of YouTube videos to comment on first. Thank you. Thank you, Josiah. We got Josiah. Let's see. Max Hansen, too. They're putting in work. Max Hansen's been doing good lately. And Kokorian, he's been putting in work, too. Bryce Mitchell, I don't really know about Bryce too much. Let's see. Says this EBI and PGF are next great events. The underrated Christos Papadelos might win the whole thing. He has the size strength advantage along with good technique. I don't really know him. We might need to look him up. Yeah, there's so many new athletes. I don't know everybody. Says overtime. Here we go. These fellas getting paid. If so, how much? Says nah, Josiah, you gotta chill, brother. You got yourself blacklisted. Yeah. My lineage is Cyborg. Carlson Gracie. I know you roll rough then. You Carlson Gracie? I ain't never seen a Carlson Gracie guy roll light. Carlson Gracie, you see a Carlson Gracie guy, you're going to have to fight for your life. I'm telling you, you come down here, I will take you to Little Havana. You got a Little Havana over there? Okay, I might come through. I might come through to Studio 76 and come through to Little Havana. Dang, they got my man Josiah out of there. Eddie hasn't written anything yet, but usually it's about 30 to 50 in total pot. Winner takes all, but it was split into half for the final winner, and then submission bonuses, bounties on the way there. So let's say $20K to win the tournament, and then $7,500 per submission that took you there. They might need to raise that pricing. How you go from $200K at CJI to to 20K. That's crazy. Eddie, add one more zero on there. We got to up some of these tournament things, prizes. How are you gonna make 50K submission at CGI, and then you go down to 7,500, which is still decent, but I mean that ain't. It's like but I could have done CGI. Most of those, well, I guess Ethan's the only person that did CGI. I did see that Ethan was gambling. We might need to find that. Reddit has me banned. The reason you don't see too many Cubans right now is because jiu-jitsu don't offer a lot of money, but a lot of them are making the transition over into MMA. All right. Cuba. You know, my cousin Chamizo, he's from Cuba. Cousin Chamizo. Yeah, I gotta look for a story, but I'll just bring this up real quick. So B Team is no longer the name of the gym in Austin, Texas. It is now called Simple Man Martial Arts. So I hate that name. I also don't like Kingsway, but that's just life. I'm not gonna like everything. We'll see how this goes and how it does. I don't know. I think Ethan was gambling though. Let's see if he's still gambling. I thought he was gambling. I think I missed it. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. There's something else I wanted to look for. Terrible name, yeah. Whose name? Simple Man Pot. You know, when someone asks you where you train at, and they're like, "Oh, I train at Simple Man. I train at Simple Man Jiu-Jitsu." Let's see. Terrible name. That would make sense. I always felt like Cubans are dark horses. Even the few I met are insane. I need that energy rip. It's the Cuban coffee. That's why they got so much energy. Cuban coffee and, you know, belief in God that gets them through. There was something else I was going to look for. Jeez, I can't remember. Terrible name. What was I going to look for? Shoot, I can't remember now. Went off my memory now. I don't know what I was looking for. Mush Master says, I think of Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder when I hear that name. They didn't think this through. You know, I would have rebranded and I would have, you know, thought about it, I don't know. Anything would have been better. C-Team would have been better. The new, I don't know, can't be New Wave no more. Can't be Kingsway's already taken. You know, something that talks about their whole, like, new start, new community, you know, something. They don't have to have new in the name. They messed it up, but that's fine. We changed our gym name to Haven 2 months ago. What was your other name? The MMA school or 76? Yeah, if you guys have schools out here, please do some research, and before you do some market research before you change the name of your gym. I train at Simpleton Gym. Yeah, you know there won't be no girls at Simple Man Jiu-Jitsu. Simple, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Simpleton Jiu-Jitsu. That doesn't sound like they're gonna be doing too much ecological work over there. I was gonna look something up. Oh, I think I know what I was gonna look up. Let me see. You guys know I'd be updating this show live, real time is what I meant to say. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Mush Master says, I can't believe they found a name worse than B Team. Congratulations, fella. You know Mush Master was going in on B Team. Yeah, man. They should have really thought about that, huh? They really should have thought about what they were doing with that. We got some figures from CGI. This is I guess CGI shared it. It says the mission of Craig Jones Invitational is to provide higher financial compensation and better opportunities for grappling athletes. Acting as a competitive, high-stakes alternative to the other major grappling events like ADCC, beyond athlete pay, CJI also focuses on elevating the sport of jiu-jitsu, I can't even talk, by creating an exciting and innovative fan experience, fostering a sense of community, and promoting freedom within the grappling world. Says Danny, if you ever in Houston, hit me up. You don't have to pay for anything. Anyone in the stream. Oh, sweet. He says, bro, I'm dying. So it says payouts. It says CJI over 2 years paid out $4.6 million. And that's from 2024 last year to this year to 2025. And it says all others combined. I guess they did the math. I don't know if they did the math properly. We'll see. They said from 1977. When was 1977? They had professional tournaments in 1977. So basically, since modern times, it's been less than approximately 6.6 million over 20, 30 years. So they're saying CGI in 2 years has paid out more, or almost more than all the tournaments ever combined. I think it's Zuckerberg, but I could be wrong. It says who's paid more. So in 2 years, the payouts were 4.59 million. And then ADCC over 26 years was 3.23 million. That's true. I mean, I think that's true. I didn't do the math. Oh, 76. Yeah, anything would have been better than 76. They need to hire somebody to name these academies, bro. In Cuba, we nothing but black beans and rice and pork. The secret to everlasting power: Cubano sandwiches and Cubano coffee. You guys eat better than us. That's for sure. In sun and ocean. Yeah, I want to go to Cuba, bro. LOL Snap, you said you're not going back to Cuba? I guess you don't want to go. If you go back to Cuba, are they going to make you wrestle again? They're going to lock you up in the wrestling academy? I'm not sure who the investor is. I'm pretty sure it's not Moneyberg. I don't think Moneyberg's got that kind of money. It looks too clean. The gym does, or what looks too clean? The numbers? What looks too clean? That's the meta now, bro. You need a clean gym. We can't have no dark and grimy gyms no more. So people said still want to know who is the secret investor. It's Moneyberg, isn't it? I think it's Zuckerberg. It says Moneyberg isn't rich enough for this. It says it's been great for 2 events, but how can the investor keep burning millions for these payouts if the event is losing so much money? Because no one is buying tickets and it's streamed for free. Someone explain how it's sustainable for the future, please. I don't think the investors are looking for a return. It seems like they're just doing it for the love of the game and to grow the sport. Great event again. Of course, there were some controversies, but in the end, the athletes got paid well and everyone enjoyed a good show. And yet there's still people whining like little girls. I'm reading that. I didn't say that myself. About not getting paid enough. Gordon loves this post. Complain more. Yeah, people great at complaining. You give people $1 million, they still complain. The problem with the CGI business plan is that it is too dependent on some ultra-rich investors who are the end of the day pull the strings, as it happened with the $1 million award to New Wave. Not sure it can be sustainable without such rich benefactors, unlike other events. Said this judo to Craig for getting kudos to Craig for getting such investors for the event and for raising awareness on athlete pay. Yeah, but even when you do raise athlete pay, the athlete still ain't going for it. My sugar daddy is richer than yours. Should have had a blind super fight for the sustainable or not. He's giving away more money to grappling in 2 years than in the last 48 years from everyone else. Yet people want to focus on the negatives. That's true. That's our sport so far. So we got some numbers there. Mr. Andy Varela says Mo was the man and y'all made him dip. Craig the man and y'all trying to bury him. Y'all just a bunch of BS BACs. BA complainers. I can't say everything. This is a family show. Now, I forget we're a family show sometimes. That's true. No one's going to want to do stuff for the athletes because 99% of y'all can't even get into the shows or saying some crap. That is true. I'm tired of people complaining and they didn't pay no money. They didn't go to the show. They didn't support the live stream. They didn't do anything. They didn't buy no merchandise. What did they do? They all they did was complain. How you think people want to help you if all you do is complain? I sure as heck ain't. Yeah. I mean, people complain, bro, and especially in the students in the schools, they be complaining left and right. That's why I can't teach like that no more. Danny Choppa says, "Will do, brother. I appreciate the invite. Unsure about the near future in terms of Texas, but I'll for sure keep that in mind, especially if I do make my way out." Just say yeah and go out there, man. Go fight some Cubans for me. Go fight my Cubanos. Go fight them Cubanos for me, man. Johnny winning EBI, we all know that. Josiah, yep. Josiah, why you be getting banned everywhere, bro? Why they be banning you, bro? Andy says, keep complaining about everything. Y'all helping a ton. If the average BJJ guy could read, he'd be very upset about this post. Say it louder for the people at the back. Most of these people complaining either A, don't even train jiu-jitsu, and B, can hardly make it through their local naga, let alone the warm-up. They can't even do the warm-up. Let's see. Most people complaining support IBJJF that doesn't pay athletes. Well, they pay a little bit, but, not very much. I've never made any money from IBJJF. You just gotta beat the very best person in the world to make, a little bit of money at IBJJF. Makes me laugh that dudes who aren't close to that level of skill have the most to say. That's true. That's how our sport is. And not only do they have the most to say and complain, they don't give the money for the sport. Being a hobbyist-driven sport, think about pickleball. Them pickleball people be paying for court fees, pickleball lessons. They be paying for their outfit, their merchandise, like everything. The paddle. How much is a pickleball paddle? $300. But man, jiu-jitsu people, they want everything for free. Complain all day, every day. It's crazy. And then be upset when they ain't got no more professional events. You guys weren't supporting it in the first place. You lost CJI. They took away CJI. Every professional event in jiu-jitsu basically goes out of business outside of ADCC and IBJJF. Zapatero, well, they kind of messed up their live stream. Zapatero messed up their live stream. Kasai's gone. Metamoris gone. Whatever you can think of gone. Who's number one still around though? Middle-aged pickleball players are keeping surgeons in Phoenix busy. Yeah, they feeding their community. They feeding the sporting goods companies. They feeding the surgeons and the PTs. They keeping everybody in business. Everybody eating good off a pickleball. And people go over there and spend $25,000 a year on pickleball, and then complain about spending $100, $200 for CJI or something, or even their membership. People complain about their membership, and then waste that money on something else. Average Joe is not used to moving laterally, especially when they ain't exercised and forever. I'm not sure if I might watch EBI. What is it going to be? Oh, it's on Fight Pass. I don't really want to buy a Fight Pass, although you can do like a month. Maybe I should do it. Maybe I'll check it out. I'll see. Let's see. We'll see. Grappling isn't leisurely. Yes, true, it's not a leisure sport. But listen, pickleball will take you out faster than jiu-jitsu. You move and twist. Uh-oh, your knee gone. People keep asking me about Handsome Tuesday. I didn't come up with Handsome Tuesday, even though today's Wednesday. I did, however, come up with Wipeout Wednesday. So I just want you guys to know where Handsome Tuesday really came from. And that's Mr. Nick Soriano.
We wrestle.
That's right.
We get after it.
What technique do we work on today?
A lot of arm drags, a lot of 2-on-1s,
There you
right?
go.
Head control, controlling the other guy's shot.
Keep him on the hip, look for a pin.
Yeah! Get off your ass. Get some exercise. We love you. It's a Handsome Tuesday.
Yeah, you got it.
And what do we do on Handsome Tuesdays? We wrestle.
That's right.
We get after it.
What technique do we work on today?
A lot of arm drags, a lot of 2-on-1s,
There you
right?
go.
Head control, controlling the other guy's shot.
Keep him on the hip, look for a pin.
Yeah! Get off your ass. Get some exercise. We love you.
Mushmaster says, not if you train at Fight Sports. Yeah, well, I'm smacking guys, sorry. You might not be walking after training at Fight Sports. Oh, I'm sad. But it's true. Yo, Fight Sports, I don't know. I went there one time, but I don't know if I will go back. I'm sorry. I like living. 2 to 3 years in Cuba and forget. I don't know. LOL Snap said he ain't going back. I think we can play this B Team video. They showed it at CJI, so I'll play it for you guys too.
Craig Jones, Seth Belial,
Nicky Rod,
Nicky Ryan,
and Ethan Crenlison.
When we started, it was just about having our own place.
Somewhere to train,
somewhere to be ourselves,
somewhere we could get better, and somewhere we could pursue our dreams. 4 years together,
4 years of training,
4 years of fun,
4 years of creating something special.
We never imagined what it would become. We never imagined it would get so big.
The vibe, the culture, whatever it was.
People came
and came
and came, and it just kept growing. We had people from all over the world come and train with us.
People who wanted to make B Team their home.
Damian Anderson, Joseph Chen,
J-Rod,
Declan Moody, Chris Wojcik,
Owen Jones,
Kenta Iwamoto, Hyson Rita, and so many more. What started off as a small group became a real team.
And yeah, we took a lot of second place medals.
But we won some good stuff too. But nothing stays the same forever.
Craig's focus shifted.
He's busy traveling the world.
And, of course, he created the coolest event in jiu-jitsu.
One chapter ends, another begins.
We're still here in Austin.
Still training. We just won't be B Team anymore.
The new name for the gym will be Simple Man Martial Arts.
Run by Nicky Ryan,
Nicky Rod,
Ethan Krellerstein,
and Damian Anderson.
It won't be just for the pros.
We'll have classes for hobbyists, kids, even MMA.
What we've got isn't going to change.
The same people,
the same vibe,
the same goals.
And while Craig won't be here,
we're going to miss him for sure.
Who knows what he's going to do next? But we know he'll be watching over us.
So thanks for everything.
All the love and support.
And come and train with us at Simple Man Martial Arts.
That was kind of sweet. Now that name is terrible. Mushmaster asked what was training like at Fight Sports. I went to the old one. I ain't going to that new one. They kind of set me up a little bit. Luckily, Cyborg wasn't there. It was another kid that was there that I competed against. So they just set me up, and they just, threw everybody at me. And, I didn't bring enough water. I was over there dehydrated. and bro, just on autopilot basically. Now I don't think I'm gonna hit up that new Fight Sports. You know, I'm good. Have me scrambling for my life, and I'm good. I like to enjoy enjoy myself. You know, I want to enjoy my mobility, and you know, they got the best track record over there. How many different sports do you think you could fake teach with no experience? I've watched some pickleball. No joke. I could walk onto any court and teach these 60-year-olds how to pickle right. And that's the issue. These people, they 60 years old, and they, you know, haven't moved in forever. They try pickleball. They step laterally. Ah! I don't know what I could fake teach. Is Ethan probably going to win EBI? Maybe. He's good, man. He got good defense. Ethan, I mean, the only people I've seen catch him was Pato. Did somebody else catch him? We'll see. No gi only school. I believe they have a gi class. Can we look that up real fast? I believe they do have some gi somewhere. Fight Sports TV. No. Fight Sports. Wait a minute. Where's their website at? We'll check and see. Mr. Mushmaster gonna go. Well, they got a gi picture right there. I mean, gi or no gi, it don't really change nothing. What's their schedule? Sometimes you can't look at the schedule. I don't know what their schedule is. Where's your schedule? Jiu-jitsu people, please make your schedule easy to find. Yeah, I can't find the schedule. I don't know. Oh, there you go. They got no gi 6:30. I won't be there. I'm not going there. Oh, Simple Man. Oh, they didn't say anything about gi though. They said kids classes and MMA. So I'm assuming they don't have. They have a website. I don't think they have a website yet. Is it still B Team? Oh, so they do have the Simple Man. I don't know. I don't know what they got going on. Is it just B Team then? Let's see, B Team. I think they didn't change their website yet. Yeah, they haven't changed anything yet, so they got no classes. No wonder they weren't making no money. They ain't got, what was that, 4 times 5 is 20, and in 21 classes, that's for that big school, that's nothing, bro. You know, there's some schools that size that have 100 classes, 50 to 100 classes, 50 to 75, 50 to 100 classes a week. So once they add kids classes, that'll be, you know, and in MMA classes, that definitely will start adding up. And if they add some geek classes, yeah, their schedule is pretty light. There's some light scheduling. So most of their time, their mats weren't being used, unless they did some drilling in between. If Gianni doesn't win at EBI, I will never post about Gianni for a day. No. You will never post about Gianni. If he doesn't win this, no more posting about Gianni. You said it yourself, Josiah. No more posting about Gianni after this. Ethan could do well at EBI as long as Pato and Dorian are not in the bracket. I don't believe they are. But, you know, things can change in 1 week. I mean, look at Gable Stevenson pulling out. Marley says a day is nothing. Also, why would you apologize to Alec? What does he have to do? Well, I gotta suffer through this. I'm suffering through this. What do you mean? What does this have to do with me? I gotta suffer. I gotta listen about Gianni all the time. Gianni, I do like you, bro, but not this much. B Team Dorian. Yeah. What other Dorian is there? Is there another Dorian? Maybe there is one. No. If Gianni doesn't win EBI, Josiah cannot talk about, at least on my stream, no more talking about Gianni if he doesn't win. No. On my stream, you just got to stop. You got to stop it all talking about Gianni. We are suffering. Listen, Marley, you can always leave. I'm stuck here. All right, Josiah, if Gianni does not win EBI, you can't no longer talk about him on the stream. No more Gianni talk on the stream. All right, let's make that deal. I'll shake on that deal. Let's shake on it. If Gianni Grippo doesn't win at EBI, no more talking about Gianni. All right, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna be watching EBI now. Now I might be hoping Gianni loses now. I can always mute him. Yeah, you guys. I put you guys in timeout and stuff. You guys be complaining. Well, I know you want to talk to your homeboy Josiah Marley. I know you want to talk to him, so I don't want to mute him. But after this, after next week, after Friday, EBI Friday, if Grippo don't win or have a good showing, if he has a good showing, I might make an exception. If he does good, he taps some people out, I might make an exception. But if he doesn't perform and he doesn't win, he's out of here. How would CeeLo Green have done if he went to BJ instead of music? He'll be a regular Masters athlete. Masters ultra heavy athlete. He'd be on top of half guard. What do you think he would be doing? He might, he kind of reminds me of Biggie Mac. I think Mushmaster. You remember Biggie Mac? You know what? What's that kid's name? I wanted to find it. One of those kids. He's the guy that yeah, that's him right there. Let's watch Big Mac.
Steve, I got your eyes.
Yo, it's Stephen Hall. Uh-oh, did Stephen Hall get crushed? Oh, CeeLo Green shorter? Said he'd be like Big Mac for sure. Have you noticed that the word scrimmage wrestling is being used a lot in the fancy new term? Yeah. I don't know what scrimmage means. What does scrimmage mean?
Come on, Steve.
Yeah, Pesadilla. He about 6'5", 6'6" or something.
You got it, Steve. You got it.
Hey. Now, I don't know if that was a good idea, but...
Stick it in, Steve. Stick it in.
Hey, buddy.
Trap it, Steve. Right there. Trap it.
They put a lot of stuff on YouTube. I'm not sure if they have their old content. Nice. I think Budo Jake is somewhere. I forget what he's doing now. And I mean, some of these Budo videos better than Flow Grappling. At least they had real cameras back in those days. So Big Mac, he can do this kind of underhook the leg pass. I think that's the Gracie pass, because you can't triangle him. Omoplata, so he can bait that Omoplata triangle. Nice pass. That's some real old school jiu-jitsu right there. The story of their fall off is crazy from what I remember. The streams were better. Yeah, the streams were better. They had real cameras. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, this sucks. It's like the shoulder crush. Woo! People said jiu-jitsu back in the day was easy, bro. This is all we used to do. You used to get crushed to death. Got your arm across your neck. Yeah, people used to put some real pressure on you back in the day.
Go to your belly, Steve. He's going to grab the key. Go to your belly, Steve.
I like up in the anterior Tiana. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a real move. Hey, Biggie Mac. So that's the guy that Lovato beat to win his world championship. So I'm still fuming over that match. You had that DVD? Yeah. Dang, Mushmaster. Well, that's how you used to watch the I mean, I think they would stream, maybe later on they would stream stuff, but at a certain point you just had DVDs with all the world championship and pans on there. That was a nice little match though. I like that. Who else is watching old videos like this of Biggie Mac? Patrick T and Budo Videos used to sponsor. All you had to do was wear their patch. You sew the patch on, they would give you $50 or something. They would give everybody some money just to put their patch on. There was some good times. You used to get $50 back then. $50 was a lot of money. It might have been more. It might have been $75. And all you had to do is stitch on the Budo Videos patch. It was like a black little patch, and you were good. You stitch that patch on, you got a little bit of money. It was good times, bro. What was that submission by Big Mac called? I don't know. The Big Mac attack. What do you know? It's called the Big Mac. It's where your arms across your body like this, but it's not like a head and arm choke. It's just they pressure down on your arm, and it hurts your shoulder. Yeah, I don't know what I had. I can roll and I feel good. I just be coughing sometimes. Getting better though. Speaking of old school, you should do a video about the Hoffa versus Cobrinha match from Abu Dhabi Pro Rungi Grappling. Was it 50-50? Was it a 50-50 battle? Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to study some of those matches from back in the day. Those are fun times, man. They had this week in BJJ show too. Oh, Budo Videos did? The Big Mac, Big Mac attack. It's called being 350 pounds. It is a real move. It's an old school move. That old school jiu-jitsu, while it's not as dynamic as it is nowadays, they knew how to put some pressure on you. They knew how to torture you. It was the original 50-50 battle, yeah. So when 50-50 came out, that was some new technology. We were like, what is 50-50? We can't get out of it. Like we didn't know what to do. And all the Atos guys, Bruno Frazzato and Hoffa Mendes, they would do that stuff because Cobrinha was so good they had to like slow him down, and nobody could figure out how to get out of 50-50. So we would just be stuck at 50-50 the whole time. And I don't know if you got points back in those days for sweeping. I think you had to escape 50-50 to get points or something. It was something weird. So yeah, that was the meta. We were like, bro, how do I get out of this thing? We couldn't figure it out. That was a good match. What's the other kid? Christian Papadelos? Is that his name? I don't know what his name is. Christos Papadelos. Okay. I want to see that kid. Scrimmage wrestling is just an informal practice where teammates compete. So in other words, if it was jiu-jitsu, it would be sparring. Oh, they could have just said that, rolling or sparring. For whatever reason, they don't like to use the terminology that we've all kind of, I don't want to say we agreed upon, but that we all know and understand. So you're over there scratching your head about what scrimmage means. Is that a game? What am I gonna play? Is that a competition? They gotta be different. That's fine. Well, simple man jiu-jitsu better change it to something simple. Jerry Lou says old school tech will make a return when people forget about them. It's already doing that. All that body lock passing, all that pressuring in, tripod passing. That's all old school stuff. Passing with your knees on the floor. Yeah, that's all old school stuff. That ain't nothing new. It might be new to you, but it ain't new. I'm trying to see more of a more. He don't have nothing new that came out. Everything's like 4 years ago. I can't stream PGF. PGF, me and PGF, we don't get along like that. Where's Papadelos at? I just don't want to pull up. They ain't got nothing new over here. All right. All he's done is PGF stuff. He hasn't done anything else really. I'm looking. He's got some old stuff from 4 years ago. Gianni's won EBI. My man Josiah said, "Let me get in as much Gianni talk." All right, Josiah, come 12th of September, no more Gianni talk. Papadelos, I seen him around. I just can't. He don't have no recent videos. Can I play this? Isn't that the good Brazilian kid?
Hoffa working this front headlock again. Not there. Look, he just jumps trying to attack. Christos really just surviving out there. I'm surprised he hasn't seen more shot clocks. There's that rolling back take into a knee bar.
Oh, yeah.
Christos! Seen more shot clocks. There's that rolling back take into a knee bar.
That was pretty nice. Rafael Ferreira.
For the effort, that was maybe the
I like most of these PGF guys, but I just don't think don't come after me, PGF guys. I just don't think they're like the C squad, you know, the B. They're not even the B squad. They're like the B or C squad level. Oh, I knocked my thing off. Am I still streaming? Not my recording off. Let me make sure we're still okay. Yep, hit the wrong thing. Well, we're still live now. I don't have the data. Usually I record this, but that's all good. I'm really not impressed with any of the PGF. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that sounds terrible. I'm just not impressed with the PGF. You know, I can find a kid in Brazil. There's 13-year-old kids in Brazil. I mean, the 13-year-old kids could beat up black belts though. But there's kids in Brazil and kids at AOJ that would wipe the floor with these guys. You know, I hate to say it, and they might wipe the floor with me a little bit. You know, I'll be tough though. I just you know, I don't know.
And he's been a dog all season long. We have not seen him this aggressive yet. He's on a front headlock game. He's very, very good here, guys. He's very good here. He's looking for 7. Looking to trade off to a Darce now. He's got something locked up. He could cook this. Christos looking for 7. He's going to close that out, guys. He's got that.
That was good.
He's been a dog all season long.
I just, this is an issue we have in jiu-jitsu, especially, I follow Dan Lukehart, so he talks a lot about the difference between the Brazilian media and the American media. In the American media, we tend to elevate people because you know their name, Gordon, Craig, whoever, Helena, blah, blah, blah. But in the Brazilian media, they cover everybody from like blue belt, purple, kids, brown belt. So you see all the talent that the American people don't know that are probably really great, you know? Same thing happened to people like Mika Galvão. Before you guys heard of him, the Brazilians already knew he was good. Pato, before you guys heard of him, the Brazilians already knew he was great. All them guys, Kainen, the Brazilians already knew. So it's like I see the Brazilians that are basically black belt level at kids, 13, 14, 15, they were already ready to win worlds. And so to me, I see that skill level, then I see the skill level of these Nogi guys, they're good. They got some good leg locks, but the US only covers drama. They don't cover skill. And sometimes the skilled people that they do cover, they're influencers or they're just like, man, they're not that good. I'm sorry. I'm not saying Papadello's not good, but I'm saying, bro, there's kids at AOJ right now that would tear him apart. They would bolo. He would never get a chance to do a leg lock. The kid would bolo him, take the back, and it'll be over. American grapplers don't like grappling. They like drama. It's true. And American grapplers, they don't know. They can't tell the skill difference. They think the dude at PGF can beat the IBJJF, purple belt champion. Like, sure, maybe in leg locks, but let the people do some leg locks too, and then like, I mean, look at it now. You got all these jiu-jitsu gi people going over to Nogi, Pato, Mika, Giancarlo. He's a gi person. Almost everybody is a gi person goes over to Nogi and tears it up. Even Craig used to wear the gi a lot. All the Brazilian people at CJI did. Joseph Chin used to wear the gi. I think he still puts the gi on every now and again. A lot of those guys came from the gi background, learned a little bit of leg lock defense. They good to go. Felipe Pena. So what I'm seeing is I'm looking at the skill, and I'm like, the guys are good, but for reference, I know one of the dudes on the PGF show, and he was kind of scrappy, but he didn't have the technique. he didn't have the technique to really be out there, and he got exposed quick. I'm not saying some of these guys aren't good. I'm just saying, man, there's levels to this. If Gianni doesn't win EBI, I won't talk about him. No, you ain't talking about him no more. Not on my live stream. If he loses, you can't talk about him anymore on the live stream. I made that decision just now. If Gianni Grippo doesn't win EBI, no more talking about him. No more on the live stream. Now, you can go to Reddit. Oh, they banned you on Reddit. Well, you can go on YouTube. They haven't banned you on YouTube yet. No-gi only guys aren't as good. No-gi is popular because guys don't want to do the IBJJF tournament grind and go through the ranks. They only want to do super fights. And, that's a different mentality when you do the super fights. You're only facing one person. You can game plan. You can work your strategy. You good. All right, 10 minutes, I'm done. 8 minutes, I'm done. Now, when you go to the tournaments in lower belts, not white belt, blue belt, purple belt, you go to brackets, depending on what weight class you in, there might be 50 to 100 people in your bracket. And it's a marathon to survive IBJJF Pans or Worlds or Europeans at blue belt and purple belt. It's a marathon. And you gotta be mentally tough you're gonna spend 8 hours at the tournament. If you win that tournament, you spend 8 to 12 hours at the tournament waiting. Compete, wait some more, compete, wait some more, compete. Oh, you're in the finals, quarterfinals. Okay, wait a little bit. And that's a grind, bro. You fighting people from Brazil, you fighting people from America, Europe. And it's a different mentality. You got to be mentally tough to get through some of those matches because you be tired, your arm be burned out. That ain't never happened in no-gi where your arm burned out. When your grip is like, you need a massage. When they got to massage your arms out because you've been holding so hard. You've been doing that for however your time limit is. Okay, now you do good at your weight class. You got to do absolute. You got to go fight. Your coach going to make you do absolute now. Now you got to go fight 350, 380-pound Big Mac now. Go do that. You're going to have some matches. You're going to have about 4 more matches in absolute. So, yeah, they don't want to do the grind. And, their favorite thing to say, well, I can't do heel hooks. If you can't win because you can't do a heel hook, then what does that say about your jiu-jitsu? If you can't win without leg locks, what does that say about your jiu-jitsu? I do respect some of the no-gi guys, but we see it like when they get out there and they fight someone good, they usually, look at Mika and Pato. They all they did was gi until they were like, all right, time to do some no-gi, and they've been killing it ever since. Josiah says, ice up. You didn't have a choice, Josiah. You had I was putting the hammer down regardless. The hammer has been I guess you don't throw a hammer. The gauntlet has been thrown. Marley says, I didn't notice the cough till now. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I got sick a couple weeks ago, but it just take a while to get better. Who got banned on Reddit, Josiah? Yeah, your bro. They got your bro. Also, there's points, so they can't make the sorry, I lost some points and didn't get tapped, so I didn't really lose excuse. Yeah, they do everything but just compete. And the guys that do compete, Dorian he does no-gi. He did no-gi worlds or something. He did some no-gi tournaments. Grippo does everything. Yeah, those guys are pretty good. If you do everything, you'll be good. If all you do is submission only and EBI, you're probably going to have some holes in your game. If all you do is IBJJF and points, you're going to have some holes in your game. So you should really I think this goes back to being a martial artist versus a fighter. Fighters are only good in their rule set, right? Okay, I'm a fighter. I do EBI. I'm good in EBI. All right, but you do something else, you're not gonna be as good. Or I only do IBJF. But I think a true martial artist their jiu-jitsu should work in different events. You should be able to go ADCC to EBI to CJI. Why are you only good in one event, one tournament? You should be pretty well rounded. At least that's my thought process. You should be good at jiu-jitsu. To me, being good at jiu-jitsu means I can do my jiu-jitsu everywhere against just about everybody. Me and Mushmaster would jump on some of these people. Says I'm back. If you get banned on Reddit, you're doing something right. I don't know. Mushmaster says, hot take, you can't be in the GOAT debate if you only do no-gi. That is true. That's one thing holding Gordon Ryan back is that he only could do that in the gi or no-gi. Compared to people like Marcelo and Hodger, even Jacare. I don't know if Jacare won ADCC. I don't think he did. Or Cobrinha or Rafa Mendez or Mika Gaval. Or you really need to be good in multiple planes of jiu-jitsu combat, basically. Is that grip on the thumbnail? Who else look like that, man? That's not Josiah. As long as they have heel hooks, my jiu-jitsu works. Yeah. Well, you can't do heel hooks in the gi. But you got wrestling. You can use your wrestling, though. Says, nah, bro, only IBJF matters. Man, I feel like you good even without the heel hooks snapped. If you guys don't know, Snapped is like 6'3", 280, and Cubano. He good. He don't even need to do jiu-jitsu. He got wrestling. What the heck was I talking about? The girls are not happy. The girls are not happy. And, you know, when they don't get paid the same amount, pay the girls the same amount, people. They let me read what she said. That's Kendall. If you guys don't know Kendall, she's the one that does all the commentating. She's actually a good wrestler too. She wrestled a lot as well. Let's see what she says. She says, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that New Wave got paid the $1 million, but Craig Jones said there wasn't money for more women's brackets. But when they messed up, they dropped the money on the men to save face. That's 300K women's divisions right there. Then they threw out 50K sub bonuses, but not for the women. That was bad. I can't defend that one. Craziest thing is that the women had some of the most exciting moments this weekend. I'm just saying what the people are thinking. Yes, sir. Was there more stuff? Oh yeah, Kendall. Ooh. Guys, just pay the girls because they're gonna make the long post, and I gotta read that post. LL Snap says Danny is something about the heel hook that. Nah, man. He says the grappler of the decade is a woman, Gabby Pinza. Yeah, Gabrielle, she good. Thank God she wasn't out there at CGI. She would have won everything. You know, I talk about Sarah Galval. Sarah, she not soft. She just from San Diego. She's not really Brazilian. She's Brazilian. She's not really Brazilian like Gabrielle. Gabrielle, she from the favelas. You know, everybody from the favelas be fighting hard. Jansen Gomez, Izaki, Gabrielle, Tedder. Yeah, all the people from the favelas. You gonna have to really fight them. Yeah, you ain't had no easy match from a person from the favelas. Forget the girls. Nah, man. The girls were good, man. You can't sit here and say them girls matches weren't good. Them was some good matches. Kendall says, this is a screenshot from Jasmine Hosha. Oh, I thought that was from Kendall. I never thought I'd post anything about this. But wow, what a weekend. During the lead up to the first CGI, I told Craig I was interested in doing a super fight. I really didn't want to leave ADCC because it was such a dream of mine to win, but I was frustrated with ADCC and CGI drama. Most of us athletes were, and I felt it was lopsided to have one women's match, Mackenzie versus Fionn, which was iconic for the entire event, while there were two men's divisions for $1 million. After the call and discussing possibilities, I was told that there wasn't enough time in the event schedule to add a second women's super fight. I had also asked about why there wasn't a women's division, and I was told that because it didn't make sense to do $1 million for two guys brackets and less than $1 million for the girls. The plan was to have both next year and make 3 $1 million divisions, so it would be even. Frustrating, especially considering at the time all of the men were deciding which organization to go to, while the women were just sitting in silence talking to one another privately with no options. LOL. But I was hearing the rationale and moved on. Fast forward to 2025, and that didn't happen. I think Jasmine's post gives a great summary of things. To be clear, I'm not a CJI or Craig hater. While a lot of the promo isn't my style, what has been done is both shocking and insanely impressive. Great matches and, of course, a WWE-esque attention-grabbing marketing plan, and so much money paid to athletes overall, a game changer. I actually would have loved to fight at this event had there been a weight class available. When it was clear that wasn't an option, though, I'd also consider going to the event to support it through social media coverage instead, but sitting here after the fact, something is just off. And while I can see why this would come across as critical, it's actually out of curiosity. It's actually more out of curiosity than anything else. Like, what happens next? So not everybody's not going to be happy. Craig did kind of come up with the women's division, but I think it was under 145. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be another CGI. You know, I don't know. Do we deserve another CGI? Probably not. He says the reason we can't have nice things, people always complain. You know what? If you want to complain, you should have bought tickets to complain. If you were at CGI, you buy your ticket and you plane to Las Vegas and all that stuff, and then you wanted to complain, go ahead. But if you were on Reddit and you got the stream for free and you didn't give no money to nothing, you didn't buy no merchandise for nothing out there, all right, you don't get a chance to complain. Jason says, Sarah always says she's Brazilian. Your parents are Brazilian. You grew up in an upper class home in San Diego. She good. She got money good. She ain't really Brazilian. She didn't live in no favelas. Now, Andre Galvao, he probably did. When he was training at TT and some other schools, he probably, was sharing some rooms in some favelas. But Sarah good. She a San Diego, California girl. That could not be further from where her parents or Gabby grew up. Gabrielle, they completely different lifestyles. And that's why Gabrielle got that dog in her. Gabrielle, you see Gabrielle, you're like, she about to win. Look at Gabrielle. Sarah be laughing. Gabrielle be like, I'm about to tear this. Ooh, Gabrielle gonna mess you up. Because she has to. To get out of Brazil and get to the point where she's a black belt multiple time black belt world champion, she ain't gonna let nobody take that from her. Heck no. Sarah good. Sarah didn't even need that 100K. She good. She got money. Her family got money. She good. Is Gabby the 55 kg girl that won ADCC Absolute last year? No, she hasn't done ADCC yet. Gabrielle, she's this Brazilian girl that wins everything. She just started Nogi though. Says they could have just given Crevar 200K to avoid all this. No, they need to give the other girls some money too. Well, they could have done a submission bonus. That would have been if they had done the submission bonuses for the girls, that would have been good too. Although she would have just had 150K because she had one submission. Says if I was Craig Jones, I wouldn't even have women's grappling anymore. Well, you're not Craig Jones, so we can't be talking like you, LOL Snap. You have everybody kicked off the stream, and there would be no more grappling events. You got to treat everyone fairly and equally. At least in the tournament sense, everything's the same. I know the girls division is not as stacked as the guy divisions, but they deserve. They're working hard too. And you could say they sacrifice more to be out there. They got not only do they have to survive the creepers and the gyms and the predators at the gym, that's hard enough. Says nah, that was Adele. Wow. Mush Master says it's not a game for Gabby. That ain't a game. She for real. Kendall Reesing is ducking Gabby Pensa. Well, Kendall got injured at 2022 ADCC, so I think she's, that took a while to get back from, and she probably makes more money commentating. So, Kendall's good too. Kendall, a big girl. I saw Kendall in person. I was like, looking up, I was like, wow. There's a reason this era of guys avoid Brazil. Brazil different, bro. Brazil, bro. I thought Vegas was tough. Brazil, different country altogether. Pulled out of Nogi Worlds asking for super fight money. Who are you talking about? Oh, Adele. Well, Adele deserves to get paid. You saying Adele or Kendall? You talking about Kendall or Adele? Who you talking about, bro? It says the BJJ world is running, making sure there is never a CGI 3. My initial reaction to seeing this: who could blame Craig for saying screw this? He put so much effort in and it's still not enough. Highest purse in women's history. Nope. Should have done more. Well, the guys were getting paid double, and it wasn't fair. The guys, I guess it should have been 200K for the women's division, and they should have had the access to the bonus as well. That would have been a better look. But I don't have that money out there, Kendall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. I have no clue what she did or was doing during Nogi Worlds. Well, they don't pay for Nogi Worlds, so maybe that's why she didn't want to do it. Jiu-Jitsu women are always entitled. LOL Snap is saying that. I don't have those views, people. They should be entitled. Athletes should be entitled to money? You saying athletes shouldn't be making money? But you also said the girls' matches weren't good, but that was not true. The girls' matches were great. Adele and Helena was good. Anna and Sarah was good. Sarah and Helena was good. They all deserved to make money. How would Sarah's life have changed if she won $100,000? She would still be at home, doing the same stuff. Compare that to Gabrielle's life. She would have let her leg fall off before she taps. We don't want to see that because that much money would be a game changer for her. And the difference in Gabrielle and Sarah, she's already made it in life. She's good. Her family takes care of her. She just got married. She's living a good life. Gabrielle's like the breadwinner over there in Brazil. When she go home, she got a car. She got to take care of people, her family, and probably her neighbors and stuff. So her money, when she makes money, she's supporting people. Now, when Sarah makes money, she probably give her mom and dad a cut, but she can go spend that money however she wants. She can get a new Porsche or something. Gianni deserves to make money. Yeah, all the athletes deserve to make money. I don't care if they're male or female or genderless. They do deserve to make money. Same thing in wrestling. LOL Snap be coming after the girls, but the girls, you can't say nothing about the girls in I guess Cuba don't have Actually, Cuba does have female wrestlers. But look at the female wrestlers here in America. If it wasn't for them, we would have had no gold medals at the Olympics in wrestling. ADCC only giving them $2,000. Tell them to go test the market and see what they get. LL Snap, man, you got to come into 2025, bro. We can't be talking like this no more. I know you from Cuba, but we got to support the ladies. The thing is, if we support everybody, we all elevate. If you let the girls kind of slide behind, and to be honest, the girls, there's more growth for the girls. Thank you, bro. There's more growth for the girls. Most of these schools are tapped out because all they have is bros in the gym. But if you start adding the girls in the kids program and girls in the adult program, there you go. You double your school. You gotta support you can have a daughter too, bro. You talking like a I hope you want your daughter to be successful. What if your daughter does jiu-jitsu? Don't you want her to make some money? The same amount of money as the boys, right? You have a daughter, right? Yeah, come on, man. Someone should do a women's CGI then and pay them $10,002 to show up and $1 million to win with $50,000 bonus. Well, you guys don't even support the CGI. How you gonna? If you guys don't support CGI, how are we gonna get CGI 3? He said I was a slave. Yeah. Well, that wasn't good either, man. That wasn't good either. That's why you got out of there, right? So I think everybody need to be treated well. And Cuba, I mean, man, I completely understand getting out of there. The answer always is compensate people fairly, give people money, the proper amount or whatever. I'm not saying there is a proper amount, but give them what's due to them. And I think the women should, at least the 100K is nice too, but the women do need to be. I'm not sure if they were paid to show. I think were they paid show money there to show up. We don't even train with the girls. Bro, you too big to be training with the girls. I wouldn't put you with no girls. Yeah, I ain't putting no big Cuban dude with the girls. They'd be all pregnant over there. I just heard what I said. Oh man. Let's see. It says Gordon reposting is comical. Wait a second. It's just him keeping the hate against CGI alive. He's not the only number one grappler in BJJ, but also the number one complainer. That is true. Men's brackets had 40 of the highest level competitors bringing eyes to the event. Women's bracket had 4. $1 million divided by 40 is 25,000. Nah, don't do that math right there. That ain't good math. Ain't good faith. Money kind of turns everything to crap. Watch how all the athletes who got a little taste of cash sit around on the sidelines from now on like prima donnas begging for money that just isn't there. I would believe that, but look at Ethan Krinelstein. He's already competing in CGI. She's only 5 and she's ragdoll and everybody twice her age. That's good. So when she's 18 and she does CGI, whatever CGI number they're on, I want her to make money. Don't you want her to make money? Some good money too. That's all I'm saying, man. I want all the athletes to do well and have a good life. I don't want to see the athletes struggling. I mean, that ain't fun. We already see most of the UFC fighters struggling. I want to see the jiu-jitsu and UFC and all these people doing well for themselves and can focus on training. That's what I want. I wanted people to focus on training. Says, I bet all the Brazilians in San Diego shop at the same Porsche dealership. While Gabrielle is trying to get a few hundred Brazilian carioca to feed her family. Totally different motivation. Yeah, Gabrielle be taking care of her whole neighborhood. She'd be giving people rides. Probably paying people's rents and medical bills. Sarah in a very wealthy part of the world, at least of America. You know, I can't even visit San Diego. I ain't got money like that to be in San Diego, but she lives there and they have a good life there, and you know, it ain't the same. She ain't the same. She ain't been through the gutter, man. You know, Gabrielle has. Andre Galvao has. He been through the gutter. That's why he don't want to go back. LL Snap says, if anything, they need to split the $1 million price down the middle so people can shut up. They maybe should have gave the girls some of that too. Give them some of that leftover money or something, but you know, whatever. Again, the girls see all this and they know that it's not, I don't want to say it's not fair, but they're, you know, you see how Craig kind of, I don't say he gave up, but you know, you see how he kind of relented to the crowd. It's just the girls are constantly kind of shown that they're not going to be treated the same regardless. And you know, they don't have the same numbers. They don't have the same number of athletes. But they're out there training just as hard, you know. And then people quick to say they're not exciting. They're not. Almost every girl match has been exciting to me. Them girls be fighting for real. Them guys be stalling. Them girl. When were the girls stalling? Did you guys see the girls stalling? They were attacking. They were attacking constantly. Well, Fape, I didn't see your message, bro. There's a lot of shitty dudes getting paid more than the best women, and that's whack. And that's why Fionn, you know, be doing her posts like that. And all these girls, you know, they see the guys making all this money, and you know, their counterparts aren't making the same. San Diego surpassed NYC and San Francisco as the most expensive place to live in the U.S. That's what I'm saying. She got it good over there. San Diego good. You know, Gabrielle, she ain't come up in no environment like that. LL Snap says, I let her do jiu-jitsu for fun, but I went through this life so she didn't have to, so I hope she doesn't make this a profession. I mean, she could stick to wrestling. You know, there's a lot of NIL money in wrestling. You know, she could potentially life-changing money by the time she's 18. You know, if she's one of the top prospects in America, she can make a ton of money. Go to Cuba, you can focus on training all day. Yeah. Now, you won't be able to leave whenever you want to, but you're going to be good. You just can't leave Cuba, or you're going to be under some supervision the whole time. So that is true. I want people to be good and have a good life, you know, and have freedom, you know. Says the amount of complaining about a free event that pays more than any other BJJ event is insane. I wouldn't mind if they just stopped doing CGI or hide it behind a big fat paywall, because apparently nothing will ever be enough for these guys. That might happen, you know. I'm not sure if there'll be another CGI. There's just nothing I can do about it. I was giving money. I went out to Vegas. I donated money when I could. I bought whatever I could. So, you know, I'm only one person. I don't got that Moneyberg money. I ain't got that Zuckerberg money. So, you know, there's only so much I can do. But I 100% believe the girls should be getting paid equally to the men's competitors. It's just, there's no argument there for me. We got breaking news. Elder Cruz announces move to Pedigo submission fighting. Where the heck was he at? Why wasn't he? I guess he didn't go to CGI. He looked good at BJJ Stars, though. We watch his matches. His wrestling looked good. So I guess, that should be a good move for him. Really, if you want to get good at wrestling, you got to go to Fight Sports or Pedigo, really, right now. So it'd be a cool look for him. I do believe him and what's the kid's name? Jacob Couch are in the same weight class. So we'll see how that works out. Was he Checkmat or Gracie Baja before? Oh, wait, I got him mixed up. I was thinking Pedro Marino. Elder Cruz. Where was Elder Cruz at? Oh, let's listen to him.
I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day. I wanted to come on here because I said I didn't want to announce it because the focus was mainly on like the team and CJI. And I said once CJI was done that I was going to announce that I will no longer be representing Checkmat with my career. And I am moving to Ohio. Well, I'm here. I'm staying in Ohio, Toledo, and representing Adamus and Pedigo submission fighting. I took a lot of thought, but I feel that I'm at the right place with the right people to continue pursuing my goals and dreams. And I feel that that's most important. I appreciate everybody back in California, Lucas, everybody at Checkmat La Habra, Checkmat Upland, all my training partners, you know who you are. Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day.
So he was Checkmat, okay. Nah, them other girls were good too, bro. You gonna tell me Sarah wasn't good, Adele wasn't good, Anna Carolina wasn't good? Come on, man. They should have gave $1 more million and split it 4 ways, $250. There you go. That would have been great. I don't know what the resources are. They should have put $1 million for all the girls. Here you go, girls. You did good. That's what I would have done. I would have split that $1 million between 4 and had the girls with more money. Will Flores says, "Hi, Alec. Type in YouTube Moneyberg exposed in reggae style. Thank me later." Y'all see, man. Whenever people are asking me to check stuff out, you better donate some money or something first, people. I ain't over here. This ain't your show. I might look into it. If you want to donate some money to the whatever it is, you go ahead and I might look at it. Says we are already rich to American standards. LOL. I just want her to focus on having a good life. That's true. But she depending on what she loves to do, she might love wrestling, and that's how she wants to. Her career. You never know. I bought 3 tickets in a rash guard. All right, LOL Snap. Thank you. You bought the Moneyberg rash guard. That money went to Moneyberg though. All right, LOL Snap was supporting. Okay, he can complain. If you didn't buy no ticket, I didn't buy a ticket. But if you didn't buy a ticket, you can't complain. Isn't that how it works on Amazon? You have to buy something first, and then you can do your comment or whatever. I think. Let me see. We ain't got that much time. Yeah. If you want me to cover something, you gotta give some money to the live stream or something, bro. Otherwise, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You do your own live stream, then I might check it out later. We got Mr. Krikorian over here. Top 5 surprises from CGI.
CGI 2. Number 1, weaponized pigtails. Thought I'd seen it all until I'd seen that. Spontaneous 50K bonuses. Never seen that before. I don't think we'll ever see that again. And in the same vein, I was really surprised by a lack of submissions. I thought given the size discrepancies between members of the teams, I was assuming there would be at least a few submissions per round. But being that everyone was at such a high level, I think it was wrong for me to assume that. Number 3, Dorian Olivares. I knew he was really good, obviously, but the way that he dominated 3 larger opponents was really surprising to me. Number 4, Mika. Didn't expect to not see him submit a single person. To be honest, if I had to put money on it before, I would have said he gets at least 1 submission, but that was definitely one of the bigger surprises from the event. And number 5, $2 million team winners. I think it's great that both teams got paid. I like that we didn't know that before the fact, so that it gave a lot more weight to the team decision. But after the fact, I'm happy that both teams got paid. I think they deserve it. I think every team deserved a good payday, so I'm happy that everyone got paid and both the finalists got $1 million payday.
All right, that's Krikorian. Yeah, I think I mean, everybody's upset somehow. I do believe Craig tried his best. That's just how it is, man. Yeah, just how it is, man. You try your best. Sometimes your best not enough. I'm hoping there is a CGI 3, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Keith has more EBI experience. He won't win. Gianni will. How the guy with more experience ain't gonna win? Dorothy Slippers. What up, Dorothy? I do like that name. I wouldn't say Dorian dominated 3 larger opponents. Felipe Pena was exhausted and perhaps cashing them checks. And then he should have submitted him. Yeah, he got my man gassed out, and Ethan controlled him for the last 4 minutes. That's true. And Dorian, I guess he beat some other guy too. He played his role. He played his part, you know. I mean, Felipe Pena should have submitted him then if he wanted more money. I mean, the only people that really got submissions it was always bigger person versus smaller person, you know. I meant to play this video too. It's probably got music.
Beautiful morning.
Can't play the rest of that music, but we'll just watch. Yeah, you guys send like $10, bro. LOL Snap. He gave me a couple dollars. He broke off some money for me. There you go. That's what you guys want. Yeah, $10 at least for me to look at something and go off script. I ain't going off script for nobody over here. Shout out to Mr. Krikorian. Mr. Krikorian got one of the best social media accounts out here right now. Now, I'm not a big fan of having the cheeks out like that. No Diddy, but some of you guys like that. Whatever you guys like, you can do. All right, guys, we got about 30 more minutes on here. Then I'm gonna dip because I'm tired. I'm not sure if I'll live stream tomorrow. I gotta take care of some family stuff, so I might do it tomorrow night. We'll see. Late night stream. Says, I have nothing to complain about. People don't realize it's a privilege to watch these people compete. And honestly, we should have to pay at least $5 a head. Yeah. I mean, if people complaining about a free stream, they going to complain about the $5 stream. Says, watch Gianni real. Maybe, bro. Let me see. I'm a little tired of Gianni right now. I'm a little tired of Gianni right now, brother. Maybe I'll get to him. We already watched it. To be fair, we watched it before, right? We watched it before. I clicked on it before a couple days ago. We did look at it. Dorothy Slipper says, Krikorian's front door looking like he living in Compton. Was it? Let me go back. It's expensive in California. It's expensive there in California. Krikorian saying in the hood. I say in the hood too before. Yeah, he in the hood. My man in the hood, bro.
It was so nice, we had to do it thrice.
What the heck is playing music over there? What the hell is that?
All right, hey guys, so we're doing the 3rd bag video. And so this is...
Jesus Christ, okay. We got some Joseph Chin too. So that's Krikorian. Says, I wanted it with y'all. He's winning. Yeah, my man living in, that's not the hood, but you know, that ain't where Sarah Gaval lives. He definitely kind of in the hood. When you got that screen door, you got that metal screen door like that. Yeah, he might be in the hood a little bit. He might be in the hood a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. He didn't make that. He didn't go to CJI. He didn't get the $200,000. Felipe Pena is always exhausted. That's going to be the title of his tombstone. He probably the worst in-shape Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete I've ever seen. Leandro's very similar. If you ever watched Leandro, I guess he just couldn't breathe out of his nose for the life of him. He said also he's drying his laundry on the front railing, dude, deep in the hood. That's just how the Europeans do it. Yeah, that's how the Europeans do it. It says, what does Gordon actually want at this point? That's a great question. What does he want? It says, I can't be the only one confused about this. He was immediately vocal, complaining about the outcome and saying that it's biased and crooked. That investor has agreed to pay out to New Wave so that everybody is made whole and can move on from this regardless of what side of the debate you're on. Everyone on B Team and New Wave gets paid. No need for anyone to feel hard done by. But now he's going on about how they need to overturn the results. But what does that actually mean in this context? There's no official record of BJJ matches like there is in boxing. There's a BJJ Heroes. And there's not even any unofficial record of team matches or even any mention of past champions on the CGI website. So what does he want CGI to bring all the competitors back to the Thomas Mack Arena, and do they so they can say New Wave won on a live broadcast? Does he want Craig to record a public apology or something, or is he just asking for a Instagram post saying that New Wave won? What would actually make him shut up about it? Nothing. Nothing will make him shut up. Security door on the second floor. He in the hood, bro. He going through it, bro. He in the hood, bro. he got bars on the windows. He going through it, bro. He ain't got no washer. He ain't got no washer in the building. He got to go across the street, wash his clothes, wash his nogi stuff. He going through it, bro. Everybody's not making $200,000 an event like the CGI people. Some of us making $200, $200, $2,000. Watch it offline. When I say it, when I saw it, I thought of you, Moneyberg reggae style. Yeah, I'll check it out later. Yeah, just the way it is. I already got my plan. If you want me to go off script, you got to give some money. That's the way it is. I'm not trying to beg or anything. Otherwise, I'll try to look at it later if I have time. I don't got time. I got to go train it right after I finish this. I got to go train and take care of business. He wants attention and to be relevant. Nah, he wants to be Craig. He can't stand that Craig had the spotlight for the growth of the sport when Gordon is the king. Gordon ain't growing the sport. If anything, he's taking more resources away from the sport and other athletes. He also can't understand why Craig's whole shtick is being number 2, and the community loves him for that. While Gordon's entire identity is dependent upon him being number 1, and everyone hates him for it. I don't know if he realizes this, but the entire jiu-jitsu community loves telling everyone that they suck at jiu-jitsu. I think he wants Craig. Can't say that. Like he said, attention and relevance. Craig has so much of it, he literally wants to fall off the face of the earth to get away from it. He wants to date Craig. That could be true. I listened to Taylor Pearman on podcast. He says there were 3 taps and you couldn't see it on camera, which tells me Bodoni, like the rest of New Wave, winning over respecting the game. And I don't know if Bodoni did that consciously. Sometimes your body's in shock and you like, I'm gonna get hurt. So I think it might have just been a reaction. And you know, I'm glad. Well, I'm happy that it was counted as a tap because he tapped out and didn't get his leg broken. He could fight for day 2. So that might have been a blessing in disguise. Jason Whitfield says if you want a decent studio apartment in San Diego, it's around $2,500 a month. I think it's more than that, bro. A decent. I think where Kokorian's staying is $2,500 a month. Kokorian in the hood is $2,500. Yeah, Jason Whitfield, I think it's more than that for a decent place. What do you mean by decent, man? Washer and dryer in the building? Studio? With amenities? And a gym? Nah, they're going to be more expensive, right? That's California. That's San Diego, bro. Can we look up we might look up some real estate in a little bit. Jason Whitfield, what's a good real estate? I want to see what that hood building costs. We might look that up in a little bit. I think San Diego more expensive than we all think it is. Dorothy Slipper says, true, but only owes Pearman a part of that milli for not breaking his leg and new wave advancing. Yeah, if he had got his leg broken, that would have been it, bro. If he got his leg twisted off like Bilal, he would have been done. So thank God they counted that as a tap. That saved him. It's a shame. I always admired Gordon on the mats more than just the skills. He is the GOAT, the confidence, how poised he is, how he doesn't let aggressive competitors like heavy clubbing types get to him or shake him, the controlled submissions, the gentleman-like behavior. Outside the mats, he's unbearable. I've been wondering if it's the vitamins. Who knows? I know, City. Having trained with him, I feel bad for the guy. In person, he comes off as this awkward loner type who never learned how to genuinely make friends. Probably the result of devoting his entirety, or everything, his entirety, I'm going to say it the way I want to say it, to a niche sport and not living a normal life. Gordon's a great teacher and coach. I also admire his skills and professionalism. That sounds like Jason Whitfield. I just hope he has people in his life off the mats who love and support him for reasons unrelated to his celebrity status. Probably not. Says, can't say that. I find Gordon a cringe merchant off the mats. On the mats, he's, of course, a phenom, one of the best grappling minds to ever compete. But this is a kind way to think about it, and perhaps I need to rethink my stance. I haven't been able to stand the drama as of late, but this makes me pause. Maybe he struggles to make friends, and it manifests itself in this way. There's a ton of great gyms in Austin. How much is Kingsway? Are they selective over who trains with them, or more like a normal gym? It says the training is solid. John and Gordon and Gary are excellent coaches. Someone says, there were a few times after practice that I remember he looked so lost and dejected while walking to his truck, like he didn't know what to do with himself now that BJJ was over for the day. One time he was standing outside alone after most people had gone home. I was leaving and really wanted to go up and ask if he wanted to grab a beer. Like, hey, bro, want to grab some food and drinks? We don't have to talk BJJ. We can just chill and talk about whatever. Ended up not doing it, but wish I did. People that achieve a high level at something sometimes think that means they are knowledgeable about things outside of their respective fields, when in reality, they know little and should keep their mouth shut. Says Gordon, in that has-been stage of his life, he's not even 30 years old and he's a has-been. Dang. I'm still kicking. I'm still trying. Knock on wood for me. I'm still out here in these streets. Not everyone thrives telling their stories. LOL Snap says, in order to be great, you have to be isolated. People will never understand the loneliness of greatness. Kingsway is only $225 a month. That's not terrible. Fion's gym is more expensive. It's crazy to me he's considered the GOAT. He is 30 years old and basically stopped competing 2 years ago. That's cool. He achieved so much in such a short time. But if his competitive career is already over, he has been resting on his laurels for the last 2 years and has been talking a lot of stuff. Not very GOAT-like. I feel like if Gordon gets to be the GOAT this early, when he's basically retired, Andre Galvao deserves to be the GOAT debate too. He got submitted by Gordon at 40 years old when Gordon was 28. He had a much longer competitive career, and he's done more for the sport in terms of positive teaching and mentorship than Gordon ever has. He's also a better coach, considering everyone from New Wave is coached by Danaher, not Gordon. Gordon's the worst possible ambassador for our sport. He has never done anything for the sport or others, only things to enrich himself. Use that as the lens to see him through, and all his current and future actions seem logical. Seems like he's at the beginning of a downward spiral now that he's irrelevant. Getting older is not kind to someone this bitter. The problem is that Gordon sees the world as only winners and losers. There's no good outcome without bad outcome. He's much more interested in seeing suffering than joy. He can't be satisfied until somebody suffers. That's his worldview. Says my gym is $250 for white belts. Loosen up is $150. Okay, wow. That's crazy. You need money to train jiu-jitsu nowadays. He wants attention. Since he didn't compete, he will only get attention by complaining. He could have just been there supporting his guys. He would have still got attention. He's a professional crybaby now. Gone are the days of his peak, and he's trying to hold on. I actively avoid commenting on posts about him to not send any attention his way. Mushmaster says, Gordon isn't the GOAT. Only people that started training after COVID think that. Jason says, it's not like Kingsway won't have good instruction. I think you have to try different gyms. Their style may not work with your personality. Don't just go somewhere because they are quote unquote champions. That's true. Dorothy Slipper says, obviously he's not the GOAT. It's Roger or Hodger all day, every day. And if it's about laurels, it's Gabby Pesina. Gabrielli. How was Gordon Ryan more mainstream and richer than Gianni Grippo? Grippo's been in jiu-jitsu longer. Yeah, I mean, just because we've been in training long doesn't mean we got all the money. I'm shocked he isn't making a lot of money and isn't mainstream. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. Says, I'm getting ready to open up my gym in the next year or so, and I won't even have white belts at all. I think you should have white belts unless you're going to be pure MMA. I think if you're in this business, you need the white belts and you need the kids classes. But what do I know? What do I know? He wants to be relevant but has little to no social skills. His only attraction is his jiu-jitsu skills, and we all know that's not enough. Craig Jones is showing everyone that you need to be more than just an athlete to continue to be relevant. Do charity, be part of a community, be human. Gordon Ryan is just going to be another gym owner or coach, and to everyone else, that's great, but he thinks he's better than everyone else, i.e., look at how he acts off the mat. He's a narcissist. Says attention, he's irrelevant outside of competition. He knows he's backsliding into complete obscurity. He wants to sit around and talk stuff. He wants to spend his days rage tweeting and living in a constant state of annoyance and petty grievance. He turned into your 70-year-old crazy uncle about 4 decades too early. It's sad because Gordon is so incredible at this sport, arguably one of the most dominant athletes in any sport. Yet off the mats, he makes blunders after blunder. Writing that terrible book, the Miata giveaway fiasco, the toe hold debacle, associating with Moneybird, going on middle-aged dad rants on IG stories, not to mention the whole Sonny storyline, which I won't even get into. Is this the cost of being great at one thing? Being literally brain dead in every other aspect of your life. He wants vindication. He seems to hate Craig for being more personable and well-liked in the sport and for constantly insulting him. God dog. He basically wants the public to view Craig the way he seems to view Craig, which is why he keeps whining and turning off comments on any post that mentions CJI2. He doesn't seem to understand why people online don't like him as much, despite him having GOAT status in no-gi, and he craves that validation. Gordon Ryan is proof that being good at jiu-jitsu doesn't automatically mean you are a good person, and that's a lesson we all got to learn. Just because someone, I was listening to some people at CJI2, they were like, I met that guy one time, and because he was nice to me, he's a good person. And I was thinking, you don't really know that person. So, blue belt and up, no women's jiu-jitsu. I don't think that's good for your business. Who's going to your school then? I think you need to open your market outside of closing your market to just blue belts and women. Unless you're going to be a professional gym, but are you trying to make money? Are you trying to make money? Like, what are you doing? If you try to do that, you probably don't need to open a school. I'll be true. LOL snapped. If you ain't gonna have the girls and no white belts, what's the point of having that school? Yeah, what's the point of having that school? It says Gordon equals LeBron, and they will never have the love, admiration, and legend of Hodger and Marcelo Jordan. Hodger, Marcelo, and Jordan. Yeah, that's true. It's hard to live up to those legends. Won't you miss out on a good amount of revenue? Yeah. We confuse talent with character. It says when I was with the Black Zillions at the very start, we had one woman on the team. She never broke apart the team. She never broke apart the whole team. Well, just have it in your rules. Have it in Mushmaster. Yeah, I would just have it in your rules. I mean, I don't know about my Cuban brothers, my Dominican brothers. Hey guys, calm down with the girls. But I think you just gotta have it in your rules that, all right, we're against people dating in the school. Let's keep it professional. I just don't see how you're gonna be successful without white belts and women in your school. And if you're opening up a school, you got a lot of competition. If you're gonna be in Houston. And, Black Zillions ain't around no more. Every school that's around, every school that's popping and doing well, your AOJs, Atos, Alliance, Marcelos, Henzos, all them schools got girls. How you gonna tell girls they can't train at your school? Yeah, you need girls at your school. You need people at your school. If you have a school, you need everybody at your school. I'm sorry, you can't train here. You can't say that no more. So I think rethink your lessons, LOs. Rethink your clientele. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice, And says no, we have a few guys going to the UFC, so I'm not really concerned about the casuals. Yeah, but them UFC guys be leaving left and right. You know what? I'm gonna move to Vegas. Them dudes, you can't rely on them dudes. Don't rely on them fighters. Them fighters ain't gonna have no long career. I don't care if they are from Cuba and they're great. Most people are not gonna have a long career in fighting. But you want that school to be around for a long time. Get the girls in there. Get the kids in there. Or else don't open up a school. Just keep it super small. I'm just look at Gracie Baja. Look at every big school. Do you want a big school or do you want a small school? You want to make money from your school or you want to struggle with your school? You got to decide that stuff now before you get out there. Because I don't want to hear you get in there 6 months, go past. You're like, dang, we need some kids now. We need the women now. Yeah, so rethink if you should be opening up a school, I think. Says, I agree, though. Gordon might not be the best at Nogi. He might be the best at Nogi. Even the vitamins didn't help. The way he comes off really makes me rather listen to someone who offers real advice. There's no way I would have an academy without women and white belts. Who am I going to stunt for? It's true. It says kids can be members way longer. Yeah, them kids gonna be there. Those gonna be your champions when them UFC fighters get kicked out of the UFC. Yeah, the kids become the pillars of the gym, and you need everybody at your gym. You need old people, you need young people, you need everybody. If you're running a gym, you need that gym running constantly. I will add a kids program eventually, but I won't coach it. Yeah, but then you're gonna have girls in the kids program. You do know jiu-jitsu is to help. It was always supposed to help smaller, weaker people. Now wrestling they can be cutthroat and judo can be cutthroat, but the whole point of jiu-jitsu was to help smaller, weaker people. Says, where is this idea that Gordon is so dominant? Have these people looked at the results of BJJ history? Hodger got half the ADCC wins of Gordon in 1 year of Nogi. Same with Sanji, Roberto Abreu, etc. I don't know. That didn't happen. There was no flow grappling or social media back then, so it didn't happen. It says vitamins. Sorry, I forgot YouTube is weird with words. Yeah. I hate the Gracie Baja. I hate Alliance because they banded us. I didn't even do anything. I mean, you can hate them, but you got to learn from them. You know what? Them people make money. People Gracie Baja, you know how much Gracie Baja make? Gracie Baja makes some money. Alliance makes some money. Studio 76 is the only school that's been good to me. And, it happens, but you still got to run a business. No, my wrestling program would draw enough revenue itself. But even wrestling, girls are the biggest growing segment of wrestling. And you're going to say you don't want female wrestlers. And female wrestlers are the best wrestlers. Says guys only did Nogi in the offseason. Gordon picked the easier path. That is true. We never really, I think we used to train Nogi once a week on Friday. Friday night. Nobody would go. It would just be me and Chris Moriarty. Nobody else would go to Nogi because they hated it. I'm tired of talking about Gordon. Let's watch Mr. Joseph Chin. Hopefully, we'll watch a little bit, see what he's got going on. Give my voice a break.
It was so nice, we had to do it thrice. All right, hey guys, so we're doing the third bag video. And so this is right before my trip off to the US, doing the camp in CJI. So in this video, we'll be going the Air Pro Pack 20 liter, my new favorite backpack all round, literally not even situation specific. And then something I purchased probably, a few days ago, which is the Bellroy carry-on, I believe it's a 41 liter hard shell suitcase. And I'll kind of explain my thought process with this. Mostly why I love this bag so much, and then why I thought the suitcase was necessary. I've been such a lover of Bellroy for a few years at this point. However, I didn't like Air for quite a long time, and I hate to admit it, but I believe it's for aesthetic purposes, because everyone's like, oh, Air travel bag's so amazing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it just looked not nice to me. It was too many zippers. So we'll explain why I like this so much. All right, so we'll first go over the Pro Pack. This is a 20 liter bag, which is a little bit smaller than my preference for like my personal.
I think I got that bag. Do I have that bag? Let me zoom through real fast. Joseph, why you got so many goddamn bags? I think we're stop there. But if you want to watch the rest of this is Joseph Chin's ultimate CJI bag loadout. He released it. He was really smart. He released this right before his match at CJI. As a Gracie Baja student, I can assure you that they make money, but even then, not that much, enough to live comfortable in a smaller, cheaper city. Yeah, it depends. Well, I mean, if you're at a regular Gracie Baja, but say you're at a high level Gracie Baja, what's the guy? Marcio Feitosa. You at Marcio Feitosa school? You're at some of the bigger schools. You're gonna make some money. And that's Gracie Baja. That's like a Gracie Baja with everything running. You're gonna make a comfortable living. That's yeah. But he's saying he don't want no girls, no kids. Yeah, no kids right now. How are you gonna live a comfortable life? And even wrestling. I mean, the wrestling can do well too, but you need them girls in there. All you have to do is look at B Team. They said they would never have belts or kids. Now look at what's happening. They changed their name and are allowing all comers. It's not a coincidence. Well, we looked at their schedule, Mr. Jason Whitfield. We looked at their schedule. They only had 21 classes. And they had goddamn near 10 different instructors. So, yeah, you got to listen, man. You get into this business, you need the kids class. You need the women's. You need some self-defense. You need everything. Dorothy says, I bought the JBL Clip 5 because of Joseph Chin video. Was that a book bag? It says, now in wrestling, I will take women, but not in jiu-jitsu. I will have to hire a woman coach. But as far as me coaching myself, absolutely not. Well, that's fine. Well, listen, you don't need to be teaching every class. You would be crazy to teach every class. Have somebody, you need people assisting you anyway in the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling and the kids. So you need get everybody in there, man, if you want to be successful. Now, if you want to struggle, go ahead and struggle, but I think I had this bag.
The Bellroy Venture, even this one, I was so disappointed to buy this one, where it was advertised as having an open water bottle pocket, but that was only for the smaller version. I think I got the 28 liter. I don't remember the literage, but for the
Joseph wasting all his tournament money on these bags. God dang it, bro.
The smaller version of.
We're gonna zoom through it, man. Too many bags.
Notice it's a little bit different from what it was like before for the carry-on, because a lot of the things moved to the suitcase. However, from here, because we want to comply with most airlines' carry-on policy of a personal item and a carry-on bag, we're stuffing the sling in here just in case any employee decides to take their day out on me. We have the sling in here. the Belroy.
I don't know what he's wearing, bro.
Collaboration sling. I think it's.
I'm zooming through, bro. I'm zooming through. I want to hear him talk about the video games, though.
And Taobao is like 300 kwai. So, if you don't know what Taobao is, it's one of the best things about living in China. We have our PlayStation controller. Jojo's been getting into playing PlayStation recently. Basically, I only play Gran Turismo. I have no other games. I have Forza, but I don't play it. And I just discovered you could remote play from your iPad on your PlayStation back here. So that's my plan. Hopefully this isn't a waste. We got some shorts because at the in terms of what I do at airports, I almost always travel in long pants because sometimes in planes it gets cold. So I generally carry long pants and a sweater. But then if I feel like, oh wow, I'm getting hot or whatever, I always have a change of clothes. I'll usually carry a hoodie and wrap it around my waist and I'll change into shorts. And then lastly, we have the toiletry bag. The toiletry bag is pretty similar to what we had before. A few additions that I think that I quite like. This shaver thing from Philips, which is nice because I don't have to use shaving cream and I can shave my
you
face
ain't got to shave,
every
bro.
3 weeks because that's the rate at which I grow noticeable facial hair. We got some nasal strips so I can breathe when I sleep.
Bro, Joseph, bro. I like Joseph. Joseph different, bro. I think I just realized everybody in jiu-jitsu is different, bro. We different in our own special way. And I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of that if you want to watch. I'm not going to get through that. That looks kind of cool. Let me click on this real fast. You got David Carr over here.
My name is David Carr. If you don't know anything about me, I'm a wrestler. I've been wrestling since 5th grade. I've been traveling all over with my family, wrestling at tournaments. When I was younger, I wasn't very good. I had a lot of losses. My goal when I was first started off wrestling was just to make it to the second tournament. And at first, I fell in love with wrestling because I got to go to camps with my dad. I have 7 siblings, so it was pretty cool to spend some time with my dad.
Look at the 65.
If you guys don't know David Carr, he's really good. He's like one of the best up-and-coming wrestlers. He's doing the world teams. He's on the world team trial. He's on the world teams division. So he's doing good. His father, I believe, got silver at the Olympics. Mr. Nate Carr, I believe. Bro, Joseph, bro. Joseph. You guys love Joseph.
Kilos. You know I can't make that anymore. But
wait, let me see the Olympic rings. Let me see those. Oh.
It's Olympic edition singlet, you know?
That's what.
Yumidan Jalala. Shout out to Yumidan Jalala.
I love it. I love it.
That's what it is. Everyone keeps asking me.
My wrestler, I'm not going to watch the rest of this. This is I Traveled with Yanni on David Carr channel. My wrestler is crazy too. All these grappling people crazy. Every grappling person is crazy, bro. Raph got something? I'm just kind of zooming through some stuff. I'm not going to play any of this. I meant to look at Real American Freestyle. That's what I meant to do. Sorry, Amit, we're not going to look at you today. Wrestlers look so much more athletic than us. They still quirky though. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, most of you guys pull guard immediately, so you don't have a chance to. I mean, but most of the jiu-jitsu guys look like they bodybuilders though. The wrestlers are quirky too, man. We all different. It says check out Osprey 26 plus. Is that 26 liter? Great for under the seat carry on. Oh, what is that? I got a Peak Design backpack, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. So we did miss Real American Freestyle. I meant to check on this, but it was the same time as CJI. Let's see. Bo Nickel? Woo, they got more money. So somebody said there was no money in wrestling, but there's more. Look at these productions. They got the same camera as CJI out there. And they got a budget for music. Look at those. Look at that, bro. That's high level. Look at that camera. That's the same camera as CGI. You gonna say there's no money in wrestling? Now there is. I for sure can't play that music. I want to see some matches though. Come on. They got some budget for that music, bro. They got some real budget over there. I didn't watch the matches. Shoot, bro. So, wrestling is becoming more professional between RAF and Claw and NIL. There's money in this sport. In wrestling, the sport of wrestling. And there might be more sustainable because it was sponsored by Hulk Hogan and Real American Beer. So I think that was really smart. Have the beer company kind of, support them. I had a couple champions: Wyatt Henderson, Bo Nickel, Sarah Hildebrandt, Kyle Dake, Real Woods, Evan Wick, Yanni, Nathan Tomasello. Look at those; they look good out there. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Sarah? How you doing, girl? How you doing? Mm-hmm. Respectfully, though. I'm not sure what the money was. They didn't even say what the prize money was. Can we look it up real fast? It says Brandon Reed looking silly against Nicky Rod, though, so maybe not all wrestlers. Hey, bro, what do you mean? Brandon Reed actually did pretty good. Now, his glasses, he got them crazy bug eye glasses. That's kind of funny. Can we see how much they paid homeboy? I don't know if they got it. It's not public. I guess we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how much they paid the athletes. I don't know. They didn't tell. It says Hurt Raph was pretty entertaining. Also found out Holly Holm stepped in on a day's notice, I think, which is insane considering how well she did. Okay. Jason Whitfield says wrestlers are by far the better athletes. I think, well, Mushmaster is going to say judo people are the better athletes. I think that's a big reason more people don't do wrestling. They just not equipped for it. BJJ, you can lay down. Yes, you are natural. Well, not everybody in wrestling's athletic, There's some less athletic people in wrestling. It's just not as accessible for older people. Unless you get into wrestling and early or, there's so many barriers to entry in wrestling. Like most of it's youth based. Unless you're collegiate wrestling, usually you stop at high school level, and then some of the outfits, the singlet. Not everybody want to wear a singlet. But you go to jiu-jitsu class, you can wear whatever you want. Just about you can be as lazy as you want. You can run around as much as you want. You can do just about whatever you want. I don't know how much they paid those people. I don't know. It was something I wanted to see. We got Dorian Oliveras. All right, got about 3 minutes. I got to dip. Says Dorian Oliveras just became one of my favorites. Didn't expect him to do that to Felipe. Says Pena was exhausted. Good decision for Dorian to go out there and pace him like that. That's all he was going to do. Every single person who watched that instantly forgot he just had a 7-minute match with Luke. It's insane. I didn't forget. I assumed he'd be exhausted like Danaher and Dorian did. I'd also hoped that the ref would actually call the stalling to force Pena to work and give Dorian a chance at glory, but alas, Pena was allowed to essentially stall his way through that entire match. He did very, very little. But then I also think Griffith should have been hit with a bunch of stalling calls in Pena's previous match. Pena probably wouldn't have had to work so hard in the first place. Says, to be honest, picking Wagner to just stall makes me not care at all about this. Wagner went out and just stalled to a loss against Kynan and against Hugo. Hard to care that Gas Felipe couldn't do much against the young blood. Says, I did 2 weeks of adult wrestling, got permanently hurt, and now only pull guard. Oh, wow. Now the way is different. There's different types of wrestling. So, like, if you wrestle in, like, Iran or maybe not Cuba, they definitely hurt you. But if you wrestle in Japan or somewhere where it's more technical based, like American wrestling is becoming more technical, but before you had the kind of the Iowa style was really popular where you just beat your body down. But if you focus mostly on technical wrestling, you can do well. So, really drilling the techniques, moving, So you see the youth wrestling, the younger wrestlers now are in way better shape than the wrestlers of the past. Like, Kel Sanderson and all those Penn State guys, they say their practices is nowhere near as hard as the high school practices a lot of times, because they do a lot more drilling and stuff like that. So if you want to wrestle, you gotta build your body into it. You can't prepare your body in 2 weeks to start wrestling. It takes, I don't want to say it takes a lifetime, but it takes years and months to get your body prepared. And you gotta be strong, but also kind of flexible. Some of you guys too stiff. So with wrestling, you have to start so young because you just don't have that flexibility and body mechanics needed for long term. And that's every sport except for jiu-jitsu. That's why jiu-jitsu is so popular. I see people in jiu-jitsu class, they can't do a squat, can't do a pull-up. They got no athletic ability, and they come out pretty good. But in every other sport, you need to have some mechanics. And jiu-jitsu people, you learn your mechanics through the warm-up. But you guys don't want to warm up. You don't want to learn how to roll or flip or turn or anything. You guys hate warming up. You hate learning techniques. You hate doing techniques. You hate being told what to do. You hate paying for everything. You hate going to class. Some of you guys hate rolling. Some of you guys don't even want to roll. So I don't know what the answer is. If you want to wrestle, you gotta have some base level fitness. If you can't even jog, how you gonna do wrestling class? If you can't do a push up, how you gonna get through wrestling class? You can't do a couple sit ups, how you gonna get through wrestling class? So in wrestling, they don't have to baby you. When you come to jiu-jitsu class, we gotta baby you. Oh, you need a water break. Oh, you need to sit out. Are you tired? Okay, sit out. They don't have to baby you in wrestling. Yeah, so that's possible in jiu-jitsu because you can stay on the ground on your back. That's true. I mean, if you're active on your back, it's tough though. But some of these guys, they just lock up half guard. They don't do nothing. I guess if you don't need mechanics, you still need mechanics in your guard. But some of you guys, you don't even play guard. You play side mount. Some of these people, they be playing side mount and get their back taken. They ain't do no jiu-jitsu. You ever watch a jiu-jitsu class and see that a lot of people not even doing jiu-jitsu? They ain't playing no guard. They ain't moving their legs. They ain't switching positions. They ain't do nothing. They stuck in side mount. Patrick T says, sarcasm font. Wrestlers and BJJ practitioners have different types of eating disorders. Weight cutting versus tacos. Yeah, jiu-jitsu guys be out of shape and fat. Wrestlers do get fat too, though. Wrestlers definitely got eating disorders. Whitfield says, sorry I missed that last rant, Alec. I was busy thinking of Echo Games. Can you repeat that? I don't know what I said. Well, you don't need mechanics in jiu-jitsu if you're gonna stall and be lazy. You don't need no mechanics. Dorian Oliveras did good, man. He did good. He ain't got no submissions, and he can't get out of close guard. But otherwise, he did good. He's like the tough. He's basically the tough wrestler that doesn't slow down. So I was surprised most people couldn't deal with that. Says from a matchup perspective, Dorian is Penna's biggest nightmare since Penna plays a slower game. Penna does very well against bigger guys who play a technical game, but having a smaller, slipperier individual like Dorian who has an outrageous pace and strong wrestling is tough for anyone, but I think a direct contradiction to Penna's style. That was just the strategy. The thing is that Dorian's style ain't for everybody. If you ain't got no cardio, you can't do what Dorian's doing. And if you can't pass the guard, you for sure can't do what he's doing. It was a good match though. And Penna, to be fair, Penna did have a tough match earlier. With Mr. Luke Griffith. Says Dorian destroyed that man. David versus Goliath for real. Gianni couldn't even beat Dorian when Dorian was a brown belt. Dorothy says, how you can't get out of closed guard. Isn't that the first thing we learn? were his arms too short to get to Ethan's pits? I don't know. I guess no one put him in close guard. So if you want to beat people like that, if you want to beat people like Dorian, you got to go to the basics. You know, the basics you guys don't want to do because you want to do all ecological training and you don't need to learn techniques. Well, that's how you're going to beat someone like Dorian. With the basics, foundational Gracie, jiu-jitsu, close guard, maybe a little bit of rubber guard might work. You know, very basic jiu-jitsu. And you don't need to make everything complicated. That's basically it, guys. I can't say nothing more about this topic. We talked a lot about CGI. We even talked about Grippo. Can I play this? Yeah, we even talked about Grippo. A little bit about Craig and Gordon. Yeah, I mean, what else can I talk about? I'll wait till tomorrow to see what's going on. We got one more video. I'll play this, and I think that should be it for today.
Director of USA Grappling. Please take a moment to watch this important message.
Do you or someone you roll with suffer from sudden, uncontrollable spazzing? You may be one of millions of grapplers with AMSD.
Hey, Mikey, let's roll!
Acute mat spaz disorder. But now, there's hope. Introducing No Spazitol. One tiny pill equals infinite confidence and control.
In grappling, 3 necessary precautions are 1. No shoes on the mats. 2. Properly cleaning for staff. And 3. Potentially the most dangerous is white belt spazzing. Jiu-jitsu is a sport for everyone. Don't be the spaz.
No Spazitol. The first prescription strength flow enhancer designed to reduce white belt rage. Side effects may include involuntary open guard, silent farting, eating outside heat, uncontrollable watching of the grappling network, and saying "os" for no reason.
Don't say "oos."
No Spazitol. Because the only thing worse than getting choked out is deserving it.
All right, that was pretty nice little video there. Nice little video there. All right, everybody, we're done for today. I'm gonna get out of here. I might stream tomorrow later. I got some family stuff to take care of. Josiah, I'll give you some Spazitol, bro. What else going on? That's it, man. Today's White Belt Wednesday. Go help out a white belt. You know, help them do something right. Help Josiah, people out there. Help him out. That's it. We should be on tomorrow, Friday. You know, we'll be on later too. I just thought, Jason Whitfield says, I just thought of a great eco game to escape close guard. Yes, I escaped another warm up. That was close. I almost had to do traditional jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Greg Souders' ecological wasn't working. It didn't work. It didn't work. I would have done everything differently, but, you know, who am I? That's it, guys. If you want to support the channel, just let people know about the live stream. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I think we're at 898. So we're going to get to 900 soon. And then we'll get to 1,000. And that's basically it, man. You know, keep streaming. Take care of yourselves. Be healthy. Be safe. Take care of your health. You know, that's all I can say, man. Take care of your health. Stay out of trouble. DeAndre looked great, so it worked for him. DeAndre did good, man. You know, I don't know, man. Ecological, bro. That's it, everybody. I'll see you guys possibly tomorrow night. I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, take care of yourselves and stay out of trouble. Josiah, stay out of trouble. Josiah got banned off Reddit, bro. How you get banned off Reddit? That's wild, bro. I ain't never heard of that. All right, people. See you tomorrow, God willing. You know, I can't control anything, so see ya. Peace, peace, peace. And a big